The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Half-Ass Morning Show is on the air. 2 are bald and 3 have hair. But when you tune in on the radio dial, there'll be something gross involved. Half-Ass Morning Show is on the air. 2 are bald and 3 have hair. When you tune in on the radio dial, there'll be something gross involved.
I know a hit when I hear one.
Is that one or no?
I know a hit when I hear one, and that's one of them. Welcome to a brand new work week. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. That was Cubby's Half-Ass Morning Show theme song. A co-writing credit goes to artificial intelligence. You wrote that up in what, under 10 seconds?
Oh, yeah. All you got to do is you just type in some lyrics you want, say what kind of music you want, and then the band takes over, the AI band. Pretty incredible technology.
It is.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Almost scary.
Yeah.
You're afraid of it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't blame you.
Is it going to kill your music career, Dana?
Yes, exactly.
You're going to be out of a job?
I'm so close to hitting it big, and now I'm worried that AI is just going to take over and kill my career.
Dana got as far as this. He wrote down, clowns never laughed before, beanstalks never grew. And it came to a halt right there. And why bother even continuing to try to write that song now that artificial intelligence has taken over? Josh debuted that song a week or so ago. Since then, our personal artificial intelligence machine here in the building has taken on the stage name of Snickerdick. And we'll be hearing from them again before the show is over, right, Josh?
Yeah, so I have a song for you in Stupid News.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like it.
Don't be scared, Dana.
I'm nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm nervous, too. I'm nervous. Hopefully this goes over okay.
Or as a younger person in my family said back when they were little kids, don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Cute.
That's how that kid used to come off. He'd say, I'm scared. Folks, you better get your act together. You got till this time Friday. You got till this time Friday morning to go out and purchase a toy for a kid. Do not be the one who lets the kids down this holiday season.
Because we'll dox you. Didn't we agree that we would dox people who chose not to help?
Yes.
I could answer that if I remember what it means to dox somebody.
We're going to give all their information out online so the internet can go for them.
Oh, that sounds evil.
Even more evil than AI.
It really does.
Well, AI is going to help us get your address. So AI will be involved.
Oh, we don't want to have to do that. Yeah, you got until this time Friday to organize whatever you got to organize. You don't want to be the one that lets the kids down. You got to join us for our topless toy drive Friday morning, Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club in downtown effing Minneapolis. Help a kid have a wonderful Christmas, will you? What, do you got no heart at all?
Do you hate kids?
We've got,
You don't want me to answer that question, Dave.
Yeah, there's 2 here that have been very vocal about it.
Right.
Very vocal about hating kids.
Starting at 6 a.m. Friday morning. It's our 23rd, 4th, 5th, some odd annual Toys for Tatas toy drive.
So in addition to, you've got your free breakfast, you've got your eye candy, of course. You got the satisfaction of doing a nice thing for charity. But also, this year, we will have concert tickets for an entire year. Somebody can win concert tickets for the whole year. Big prize if you show up on Friday.
It's huge.
That's very cool.
For the remainder of 2024?
Yes. So that gives you about a month of concerts.
No, that is, I'm so happy that we are able to talk about that. I was hoping we could get on that as quickly as possible and get the word spread on that. You show up, and you can qualify yourself for, one more time, Cubby, how you said it so well.
You get concert tickets for a calendar year that ends in 2025.
That is a huge prize when you consider what we're up against these days when it comes to concert ticket prices.
Oh, my gosh.
That is massive, and I'm very, very happy.
You're going to be a pimp or pimpette. What's a madam? You're going to be a pimp or a madam.
I'm very proud that we can add that to the mix for this year's Toys for Tatas. I think that's wonderful, a wonderful gift. See, that's how it's all working out. We're going to pile up wonderful gifts for the young people, and also included a massive gift for a grown person who comes by and helps out. Stop in for a great time and your chance to win concert tickets for a year.
We gave away a prize similar at my last job, and it was...
Which one? You have to be specific. You mean your most recent one?
Most recent one besides this job at Go 96.3. We did a promotion where it had one of those cute radio names like, Go Free for a year. Basically, we covered everything. Your concerts, sporting events, vacations, got a lease on a car, got a gas card, got cash, free restaurant gift cards. Everything, basically, your entire year was paid for. And I remember giving it away to this guy, and he was so excited because everybody wanted to qualify. This was a huge prize. And he was so excited, and we told him he won. He's crying. His wife is in the background crying, and he goes, "This is going to be the best year of my life." And I said, "No, it's going to be the best year of everyone's life." That was February of 2020. 3 weeks later, the whole world shut down.
That's a buzzkill.
You also, know how to make our prize look really stupid. What you described was so much better than what we just said. I was excited about our prize. But that one sounds good.
That one sounds awesome. But then a huge letdown because you can't use any of it.
Let's just pray nothing like that happens again.
I thought you were going to say the guy dropped dead on the spot. Free admission and free food, like Josh mentioned, if you bring that unwrapped toy on Friday. No free beer, no free booze. Don't get ridiculous.
No, they can't do that.
No free lap dances unless someone purchases one for you. I already have someone in mind that I'm going to sponsor for a lap dance or two.
Oh, you're going to buy somebody a couple of lap
That's nice of you.
I have somebody in mind that I am going to sponsor. One or two.
Is it a buddy of yours?
No. It's a listener.
So I was going to take a guess.
It's a listener who I enjoy interacting with every morning on our text machine, and I've been told that they're going to be there, and I just, I'm going to show my holiday spirit.
Well, that's very nice.
Friday morning.
Here's a busty co-ed for you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, something like that. All right. So, again, don't be the one that lets the kids down. We'll see you Friday. We know we will. So, what did I read when I walked in here this morning, Cubby? We Americans might be getting tired of holiday gatherings. What do you think?
I like them still.
I don't know if I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
But that being said, we don't do multiple, one side of the family and then the other side of the family between me and my wife. We kind of combine them. Mm-hmm. So that makes a big difference, obviously.
Big difference.
It does.
So maybe I can't chime in on the topic.
Not a lot of divorces in your family?
No.
Because that creates...
No, it's a very, very Catholic family, and so they'll be happily miserable for decades if they have to.
You gut it out until the day that you die.
That's right.
No matter what you truly feel.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you both feel.
Because, divorces obviously provide that extra. Well, now we got to go to my mom's, then we got to go to my dad's, and then my dad's new girlfriend has a gathering. Oh, and my mom's...
Oh, Dana, you're in for it this year, aren't you?
Oh, big time,
With your fiance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how, because now she's got a dad and two stepdads, right?
Yes, she has 3 dads.
So are they all having something separate, or are they on good terms where they could get together for one thing?
Oh, it's all separate. I mean, everyone's on good terms, but...
Hang on a second. Your fiance has what?
She has 3 dads.
Explain that.
She has her father.
Sure.
Uh-huh. And then her mom got married 2 more times. So she has 2 stepdads.
Why is she still involved with the stepdad who is out of the picture?
Because he's an amazing guy.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Absolutely.
I wouldn't give
and
up.
he listens to the show. He's probably listening right now. And I'm not blowing smoke up his ass. He's a great guy.
I wouldn't give up my stepdad privileges if my wife moved on to like Tay Diggs or something like that. No way. I'd fight for the kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Hi, I have no legal standing. I'd like them to be mine.
I mean, are Americans tired of holiday gatherings? I mean, it depends on who you are. As far as family gatherings go, if you have your own family, like Cubby, you do certain family things for the kids. I don't have that problem. So family get-togethers are not a big thing anymore. My siblings and I are over the hill in our 50s, for Pete's sake. Their kids are grown. So, we see each other fairly often. So, if we get together, great. If we don't, so what? Our folks are old or passed on at this point. They certainly don't care if there's a big family event. And also, we are far from the most religious family in the world. So when you remove the religion stuff and the kid stuff, you're free to do what you want come Christmas, and that's okay by me.
Did you and your wife start a tradition or anything last year? Your first Christmas as a married couple?
No.
I could see her wanting to do something like that as you go through this journey together of love and growth.
You're calling our marriage what again?
Well, that's her words. You have a journey that you're on as a married couple of love and growth.
Right. That she came up with that slogan. It's disgusting what she did with that. We went to see her family. Her parents are still kicking.
Colorado?
Living out in Colorado. But, I mean, I'll tell
like
you.
The two of you, is there something
no. Something special that
maybe you want to do every year together?
No. Although, I really enjoyed this. Our first Christmas as a married couple on a journey of love and growth. We made a pact not to buy each other a damn thing, and we stuck to that pact, and I've been waiting for that my entire life.
Oh, that's nice.
Not a damn thing. She was the one who came up with it. She said, it's ridiculous that we would buy each other Christmas presents. We're in our friggin' 50s. Who cares? We're just going to have a good time, and don't worry about buying. Neither one of us bought each other. We didn't spend a dime, and it was beautiful.
Is she easy to buy for? Let's say she didn't feel that way.
She's
not.
Well, there's no one, but that's nothing specific about her. I find everyone to be difficult to buy for.
Oh, you're one of those people? You're not a good gift giver?
No, I don't think I am.
One of those people.
I didn't mean it like that.
No.
My boyfriend's like that, too. So instead of Christmas gifts, we usually go on a trip because we're like, he sucks at buying me gifts, and I'm really good at it.
Right.
And so it just makes him feel bad. Even if it's a good gift, I always go overboard.
That reminds me of the relationship that Josh and I have. Josh is a tremendous gift giver. I've never been able to match what you bring. I mean, for Christ's sake, my last birthday, he got me the finger bang drum machine.
Yeah, that's sweet.
all I can ever think to buy Josh is maybe a hoodie.
I love it. I'm easy to please. And like I've said before, I had to tell you this to your wife recently. You and I have different love languages.
Oh, what's yours, Josh?
Mine is I like to give people stuff to show my appreciation. Like, hey, I thought of you. I like to do that. Yours is different.
But back to, whether or not my wife, my friggin' wife, whether or not she's easy to buy for, difficult to buy for, I find it difficult to buy anything for anyone, especially women, just because, and it's my fault, although I know my friggin' wife tremendously well. We've known each other for 35 years. We've been in each other's lives for 35 years. That's longer than Wapple's been alive, longer than Ashley's been alive. But still, it's my own fault. I probably don't pay close enough attention to details, which would make gift giving much easier.
Yes.
So I struggle with that. And I was so pumped when she said, throw this Christmas gift idea away. It's silly. It's not necessary. So, man, my life is very easy in that department specifically.
How about other like birthdays or other holidays or things like Valentine's Day?
No. We don't
same deal?
Yeah, we don't get involved in any of that. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I
bet you save a lot of money.
I guess. I don't know. She handles that, Ashley, to be specific with you. She could give you the arithmetic on that, not me. Sure, on Valentine's Day, I don't know, we probably, I don't remember. We probably went out to dinner or something.
Yeah, but not like gifts. You're not exchanging gifts.
No, I'm not buying, things.
The gift is a shared experience on this journey of love and growth.
Yes.
The gift, our gift.
Yes, to each other is a shared experience.
Of course it is.
Just like Ashley's.
Of course it is. Oh, God. So, anyway, according to some numbers, maybe we're not as pumped collectively as we used to be about holiday gatherings. I'd still full-on embrace like a holiday get-together at a bar or a house with my pals and my old pals. But as far as family gatherings, not necessary anymore.
I think just, one's good. Well, I think one's good.
One Christmas with the family.
Yeah, I'm good. It may be a work thing if that's your work. But you can stand your coworkers. That might be fine.
You know what? I haven't heard a word about a company Christmas party this year. Not that it matters to me because I've skipped 90% of them throughout my career, but I haven't heard a word about...
I think that's because, more and more people keep getting canned, so there's less and less folks to celebrate.
Organize it.
Yeah, less to celebrate and less people to, as Wapple said, organize or go.
There's like 10 of us there, and it's all sad.
Well, I know that, you've been a semi, even maybe more than semi-regular company Christmas party guy, Josh. Does that bother you at all? That we're not going to, at least it appears we're not going to have a company Christmas party?
Well, I like to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand if they don't do it.
Sure.
I mean, it's
things are pretty miserable around here.
Yeah, it's not just Cumulus, it's across the board, right?
Pretty miserable. Well, I told Cumulus a long time ago I'm not getting them anything.
I got them nothing, too. We tried to buy something for the big boss, and she wasn't able to accept it. Do you remember that?
No, I do not.
Yeah, it was a couple years back. Said she couldn't accept it because it sucked, she told us.
Oh.
Oh,
She
no.
said, I can't accept this.
Can
This
you-
is stupid.
Ouch.
Did Nick buy it?
Did I buy it?
Yeah.
No, we both did.
I have no idea.
Meaning I
what-
bought it and you paid me back.
Oh.
Paid me half.
Well, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like talking more detail? I have no memory of this whatsoever.
We bought her a real nice bottle of booze.
Oh.
And she said she couldn't accept gifts from plebes,
Oh.
that work underneath.
Oh, well, that's
So you drank it yourself then, Jeff?
Yeah. So what are you guys going to do with
I'm a
that?
huge drinker.
We know that.
We
Well, no,
gave it
really.
away to somebody else we thought would appreciate it.
Oh, we did. We
Yeah,
gave
neither
it
one
away.
of us are booze guy. Well, I'm not an alcohol guy, but you're not a booze guy.
No, I don't like hard liquor much. Oh, so we just gave it off to somebody else, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what
Just
the
said,
hell?
hey, this got turned down. Do you have any interest in this?
What the hell's going on with our listeners this morning? I just checked my text machine. Just received a text, November 18th, 2024. That's today, right?
Yep.
Just had a text that came in, 5:59 a.m. So that was a minute ago. And the text machine says, is it true that Malcolm Young died?
I got back to that person, and yeah, I'm sorry to break this to you, but he did pass away on this
years
day
ago?
in 2017.
On this, was it on this day?
Yeah, so I'm sure that person's seeing it on social media. But
Yeah.
yes, he died on this day.
Malcolm Young, of course, legendary rhythm guitar player from ACDC. I'm sorry that you're just learning this, and I ain't going to make fun of you because I have a difficult time keeping track of who's alive and dead. If you listen to this show, you know that. Is it true that Malcolm Young died? Is the first text message that I looked at. Yeah, dude, he did, and it was... I'm trying to do the math there. 7 years ago? 7 years ago. That sucks for you, bro.
He got back and does. Wow, I guess I'm a little behind a couple of years. Yeah, we've all been there one way or the other.
Yep.
Ah, crap.
That's funny.
Malcolm did die.
What? The Ultimate Warrior died.
What?
Yeah, he's been gone for a little while, too, the Ultimate Warrior.
How did that bit start? Did somebody do the same thing with Malcolm Young? Is Malcolm Young going to replace the Ultimate Warrior? So if you're not familiar, the Ultimate Warrior wrestler died in 2014, I think.
14.
And for whatever reason over the years, people will text us as if it's breaking news and say, did you hear the Ultimate Warrior died? It's kind of it's a bit.
If I remember right, I think I lost my cool on the air one morning over that question, or at least over that statement. Hey, did you hear the Ultimate Warrior died? And the sumbitch had been he'd been dead for 6-8 months or something, and I think I lost my cool. So I think it became kind of a running bit to try to get me to bust a spring.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Malcolm's gone. Bon Scott, yeah, he died.
Yeah, he did.
Not recently at all. 1980, I believe.
A really long time ago.
Bon Scott died. But Angus and Brian, I believe, are still going, and we keep hearing rumors that they might kick it in the ass again and do a tour.
Yeah, when we were talking about upcoming concerts, we got plastered with text saying, hey, heard ACDC's coming next year. And I still have, outside of text, I have not heard anything or read anything about that.
I spent almost my entire weekend listening to ACDC. I did. So it's kind of interesting that we got a text on Malcolm Young being gone for 7 years. I was listening to a lot of the old ACDC records. Oh, I love that stuff. And Malcolm could come up with some cool riffs. Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver, going to join us, 7:30. Yeah, sure, we'll talk about the Vikings. Yeah, we'll talk about the Friday night dance contest between Mike Tyson and the YouTube kid.
Oh, God. I didn't watch any of it, but I watched some of the clips, and boy, that was about as bad as most people thought it would be, just based on those clips. I haven't heard one person say they enjoyed it.
Yeah, no. And then, streaming kept going down, too, when I was trying to watch it, so it made it even more of a headache.
Yeah, it's just buffering the entire time.
Was it really? Was that so that many people? I knew, it was a pretty big problem, but I thought it wasn't as widespread. So it was pretty?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Was it?
Yeah, me and my buddies were playing video games, and thankfully we were all on Discord, so someone put it up on their computer, and everyone was just watching it as a big group.
Yeah, it was just a dance contest, like most of us should have suspected.
Most people probably did.
From what I understand, there were a few people who were quite clueless on what to expect from a YouTube kid boxing a near 60-year-old man, but we'll get into all of it. By damn Cubby, we'll get into every damn little yes, we saw his ass cheeks. Yes, of course.
Yeah, we sure did.
Enough with the ass cheeks.
That was all over the internet. I heard the...
it didn't need to be. That just felt unnecessary.
You didn't like the butt too much?
No, I didn't want to see that.
Yeah, good cheeks.
I felt like I was violating him.
You know, it was funny. I was sitting at the bar Friday night, and then I got home in time for the Timber. Well, they started at 9 o'clock Friday night. I had no intention of watching the dance contest because I knew 100% that that's all it would be. So I didn't watch it, even though I was right there at home with a working television. I chose to go with the Timberwolves. But my friggin' wife, of course, is sitting there playing with her phone, and she showed me the ass cheeks clip because it very quickly jumped up on the internet. And I said, that's just... It was very telling, the difference between the YouTube kid and Mike Tyson. The YouTube kid, 27 years old. I'm sure he had the latest, spandex type underwears and whatnot. Yep. You got of course, the near 60-year-old man is still walking around the locker room with that dirty old jock with the exposed ass cheeks that our grandfathers wore when they were playing high school baseball and whatnot. That's all you needed to know. That told me right there. Now, that's an over-the-hill athlete. He's still walking around with the assless jock strap like it's 1958.
From friends who watched it, most of them said the women's match was great.
Yeah, it was. It was really
I was reading it might be the most watched women's sporting event of all time.
Well, I'll be
Oh,
damned.
that's pretty cool.
So they had a lot of people watching that thing.
At one point, I thought she was going to lose her eye.
Oh,
Which one?
gross.
Boy. I can't remember which one it was.
One of them almost had an eye come out.
Yeah, she got hit a good couple times. there.
Well, that can happen.
I've never been hit so hard where I thought my eye was going to pop out. I've seen stars. That's about as close as I've ever come.
I've never been hit. I never want to be.
Yeah, I don't think I've taken one cubby where I thought that the eye was going to fall out, but I've been hit in the friggin' face, I'll tell you that. Ooh-wee. For those of you who haven't experienced it, like, say, Smashley, get knocked out.
No. That just looks
I'm just telling you
bad.
from personal experience. When you get knocked out, you just kind of nap for a little while and you wake up and you feel pretty decent.
Really?
You
Nap
do.
of
You
your
feel
life.
pretty good.
You do.
You might be a little confused. It takes a second to realize. It's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie where at the very end they show you all the clues that you missed or something.
Yeah.
Some sort of
Yeah.
twist. It's like that where you're kind of going back trying to piece together what happened. But Nick's right. It's very peaceful sleep.
Yeah.
Trust
He's
me,
just snoring
Ashley.
immediately.
I've been hit in the face where you stay awake, and I've been hit in the face where you go night-night. I'm telling you, going night-night is where it's at.
That's what you prefer.
'Cause
Okay.
You just kind of wake up, and there's a couple of friends kind of kneeling around you to try to wake you up again.
That's nice.
Yeah, hi, how are you? Good. Where am I? That kind of. It's not bad. All right, we'll get moving here. Like we were saying, she's a Monday morning.
Oh, geez.
It's kind of an F-off week for us. We're on vacation next week. What happened over
nice.
there, Josh?
So the trunks that Jake Paul was wearing, people are saying are worth $1 million. I thought that was the necklace, but so you're saying the trunks too were worth that much?
Oh, what a D-bag.
I didn't see what was.
Well, I'd read about the necklace was worth, you had a ton of diamonds on it, worth a ton of money. But
Okay.
I had no idea the trunks.
Wow.
My word.
None of that stuff really interests me. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could pee or poop those if you get hit hard enough. To think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing that can happen if you get hit in the face.
What I mean is, you know, the folks who are flashy just for the sake of being flashy. I've never taken an interest in that type of a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple that are decent folks, but I'm with you. Your first thought is, ooh, this is probably a douchebag I'm about to talk to or whatever.
Yeah. Walking around with $1 million necklace. I mean,
I had a buddy.
it's not my style of person.
Or I have a buddy who's kind of like that. He's a little flashy. And the first time I ever met him, he did say, hey, I know I look like a douchebag, but I promise I'm a decent guy.
Is that really what?
Yeah, it's the first thing he ever said to me.
What was he? What was his appearance like?
So he had, this was, boy, I'm going to say 2009 maybe, and he was a realtor, and we were looking to, move. And so he comes, walks up my driveway, and he's got, like the white belt, a flashy shirt, white sunglasses, and he got out of a hot car, and he's like, listen, I know I look like a douchebag. But
No kidding.
Yeah, he knows. He knew it. Yeah, he has, I think the car and his flashy outfit, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
And he did look like a douchebag.
It sounds like, the way you described it
But
was
one of the coolest dudes I've ever met.
We'll take a break here and come back in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like Swerve Strickland.
Why do you use staples like sensu beans, man?
No, it was just something, the concept I came up with. It's an instrument used to punish. It was just finding those common items. If you see them, you automatically think back to me in that moment. So it's one of those things I wanted to just implement in my whole character, creating the most dangerous man in AEW.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Got a random text message here for you, Josh, that I think you're really going to like. At least I hope you do.
Of course I will.
Maybe it was inspired by a conversation we were having earlier. About me and my friggin' wife. Not that we were talking about any differences that my friggin' wife and I have, but maybe just simply the conversation. A listener sent me in a picture. I think you call this a meme, a podcast pentagram tattoo Jesus. It's a picture of a wife, and she has her back turned to her husband. She looks upset. He looks concerned. And the wife is saying, I'm pissed. And the husband is saying, again or still?
I got a couple of friends that got in trouble with their wives over the weekend.
Oh, I love it.
Actually, you'd be good to ask this. So, is calling a woman crazy or saying she's acting crazy on par with using the C word?
Hell no.
They're not similar, no.
No? Okay.
No,
He was
not
wondering
anyway.
that because he felt like her response would have been less dramatic if he called her a C word or said you're acting like a C word.
Instead, he
No.
called her crazy.
He just
or
said,
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey,
never smart to do either, though.
you're crazy, is what he said. And it was the whole weekend he was dealing with the fallout.
What? Oh, that's a little extra.
Are they going to split up?
I doubt it.
Do you kind of hope that they split up?
No, of course not.
Yeah, I would rather have my boyfriend call me crazy any day of the week than tell me like I'm acting like a C word. That would be the end.
Oh,
That'd be the
you
end
break
for him.
up with him?
No, but that would be like the end
he'd be
for
stabbed?
him. Yeah,
Oh.
it would not be good for him.
He'd be
Understood.
bleeding.
This married couple, Josh, you're friends with both of them?
Yes.
Which one do you like better?
Well, I mean, I'm friends with the guy. Oh, couple-wise. Is that, you mean which couple do I like better?
No.
Okay.
No, which couple do you like better? I'm saying your friends. Oh, wait a minute.
Because I said there was two couples.
Two couple. Okay, tell us about I'm sorry, I forgot that part. Tell us about the other couple. Why was this other guy in trouble?
Well, that one I don't think I should bring up on the air.
What are you talking about?
That one, the details of that one would be bad. I can't bring that. I mean, nothing nefarious or legal issues, nothing like that.
Did someone get cut?
No, because I know that that person will find out I'm talking about them. So yeah, I can't.
And they're sensitive to the idea of you talking about them, even if you don't use
the spouse would not be happy.
Even if you don't use their names, there's no way anyone would know.
No, I can't do that.
So two of your bros got in trouble with their wives.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
But if you're saying of the couple, the husband or wife, which do I like better? I've known the husband for a long time. So the wife is much better, in my opinion. I'm a bigger fan of her.
Oh, right. Yep.
Well, these things can happen. We're all set for our first stupid news report for the week, but it comes with a warning. You're about to be surrounded by penis.
Yes. About time.
Like a Twisted Sister concert or a bar that's hosting a UFC pay-per-view party, you're going to be surrounded by swinging dongs. At least for the first 2 or 3 stories this morning. Nothing but dong. So if you get a little squeamish around peckers and such, just hang on to something. Brace yourself. And it ain't good dong news either. These are the kinds of conversations that those with functioning penises don't want to have. But we're going to go ahead anyway. Some poor bastard, he about smooth killed his own little pee-pee by going ahead with some kind of silly all-night sex party. We're talking a life-threatening injury to his rod. And now, since this story is cut loose, doctors have felt the need to come forward and say, look, don't do what this jackass did, or it could kill you dead. So, we've told many stories over the years about overuse, and this falls under that category. First off, you got to act your age and know your limits. The guy that more or less murdered his own unit by trying to have sex all night like he was a damn kid, he's 53 years old, for Christ's sake.
Oh.
He must have been smoking rock. Well, it says here he was on something, and that something was Viagra's. He ate some of those pills and then just started pumping away on another human being until he near died. By the time he was done, doctors said he suffered from extreme swelling, swelling on the underside of his carrot. My old boss at the warehouse, Josh knows this story very well. He had his little pecker pop like a water balloon on him.
Oh,
Gross.
Because he couldn't stop slamming into his wife.
You'd think the wife would have some repercussions here as well.
Yeah.
She was fine.
That's a heroic
friction,
vagina, yeah.
Heroic vagina. Great band name.
You're right. Trademark. I'm not trying to gross anyone out yet, but I remember there was one time my wife and I, we had a session that was, again, I'm not trying to gross anyone out, almost 30 minutes long, or right around there.
Yeah.
And the first thing she said when it was all over is, that was dumb. That shouldn't ever last that long. And that's when I knew I married the right woman. Like,
there's
you're right.
really no point.
What are we trying to prove, she said.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was nice while it lasted, but right afterwards, both of us thought that was really stupid.
You were still pretty young?
Yeah, we were, I would say, within 2 years of getting married at that. So I'm not necessarily young. I got married when I was early 30s.
Flip-flopping positions like there was a camera crew in the bedroom?
Yeah, it was stupid. It was really dumb. And I was so glad that she had said that. Instead of, we should make that a regular thing.
Yeah. So this guy, he had extreme swelling on the underside. The skin on his unit was hot to the touch and very tender.
Ooh.
Very tender. There was a visible bulge also on his gear, and that was due to some kind of disgusting fluid buildup. He was officially diagnosed with something called penile Mondor disease.
No, I don't want that.
It basically says here, your pee swells up like a damn balloon, and then you walk into the light. I missed a step. Your pee swells up, you puke, and then you walk into the light. You're dead. He was treated with anti-inflammatory drugs, is how you say it, anti-inflammatory drugs. He made a full recovery. Within a few weeks, he was ordered not to penetrate anything for a couple of months.
I don't think I would ever go back if something like that happened.
Wouldn't go back to the penetration?
No, that would scar me for a while. Literally,
you'd
too,
go back.
probably.
Looking down and you say, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah, this has gotten out of control. I need to chill.
And like I said, doctors are using this story as a warning to other players. The doctors are more or less saying, just because you pop some pills doesn't mean you should try slinging that little acorn of yours like you've turned back the clock 25 years. Be reasonable, for the love of Pete. This guy just all night, just pinballing back and forth. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
I am kind of interested in what that type of medication would do for me.
You're interested?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've had, for medical purposes, they gave me a shot, which would cause something like that. So maybe I guess maybe it wasn't what it was cracked up to be.
Scares the hell out of me, the thought of taking Viagra's.
Just because of your heart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, that maybe the 4-hour erection.
No, I'm not afraid of that.
You beat that record.
I invented the 4-hour erection back in, I think it was 97. But, we've had many conversations about hard-on injuries on this here radio show. They're no joke. They'll kill you dead quicker than you can say Jack Robinson. This guy almost met his maker, Cubby.
It's a mood killer, that's for sure. Feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, that must have been scary.
The girl, too. I bet she must have felt pretty bad.
Well, she doesn't. There's nothing in here about the lady. Just like my old
She doesn't care.
my old warehouse boss. Yeah, my old warehouse boss, whose unit exploded like a hot dog in a microwave.
Oh.
Ashley's right. She didn't care. She just said,
Sounds like a personal problem.
I'll get back on that ride whenever it's in business again.
Let me know.
You're on your own, she said, as he laid in the hospital waiting for death. True story. The first thing he said to the doctor when he came to. It's just a true story. His unit just went pop. It just popped. While he was having sex with his wife for the 10 millionth time that week. They just loved to have sex with each other. They were disgusting about it. It was odd how much they liked it. And they already had produced like 4 or 5 kids. Jesus Christ, dial it back. But they're in the middle of the millionth time they've had sex. His penis completely gives way. He wakes up passes out, wakes up in the hospital. The first thing he said to the doctor was, just like in the movies, he said, "Give it to me straight, doc."
Yeah.
How much time do I have?
Don't beat around the bush.
And the doc said, "Oh, I'll give you another 40 years if you just lay off a little bit, for God's sake."
Question. So a buddy of mine had this, I would say maybe 15 years into their marriage, their sex life went out of control. It was great. Like they're leaving work to hook up. They just had to have each other.
15 years into their marriage.
Into their marriage, right? So it was quite a dramatic change from what had been going on, right?
How old are they? Or were they at the time this started happening?
Early 30s, maybe mid 30s.
Okay.
And so another friend said, "Oh, they're having trouble in their marriage." And I'm like, "Really?" Because it seems like it's quite the opposite right now. And turns out that's what it was. So in your buddy's situation, do you know the status of their marriage? Was this like trying to keep things together, or did they just really like to do it?
That's a great question. I never heard anything like that at all.
The reason I ask is I was kind of shocked. He turned out to be right, this other friend. I never would have thought that. So I was wondering if maybe that is a sign.
I never heard anything like that at all. They were just, I think they were very Catholic too, Josh. Right?
Okay.
Where you produce babies until the day that you die. Or is that a stereotype for? I thought the Catholics loved to make
that's
babies.
a stereotype. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you how I was raised as a Catholic. You have sexual intercourse to procreate, and so you don't use anything, right? You're not going to use a condom, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So and that's it. So maybe you're not necessarily trying to have kids, but you do everything, all the steps to get there.
Yeah.
That's all there.
So anyway,
that's the way I was raised.
Yeah, I never heard any stories of marriage troubles with my old warehouse boss and his wife. They just loved to bump, and they loved to make babies. You know something else I've heard, Josh? I've heard that when suddenly the sex with you and your partner goes from 0 to 1,000, sometimes it's a sign of mental health problems.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like cheating.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that too.
Well, you were all wrong. Yeah. That's just what I've heard.
Like anything specific?
I wish I knew more specifics. It's a conversation I was recently a part of, and I found it to be very interesting. And one or the other out of the couple, might be slipping a little bit.
Is anyone in these rooms here or listening kind of hoping their significant other starts to suffer some mental health problems? Like nothing too serious.
No, just a light case.
Yeah, just a couple good experiences would, or a pep talk or two will bring them right back, but maybe just for a little while.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. That's just what I heard.
Frame Electric Jesus sets up the opposite, situation that my friend was in. He said, the only time me and my wife are having marital problems is when we're not banging, like Lois and Hal. Do Lois and Hal do it a lot?
I remember they enjoyed each other's bodies. What did he say? The only time what?
I get what he means because I'm the same way. Like if me and my boyfriend don't have, say, we're not having as much sex as we normally are.
Gross.
We like hate each other. And then
we're serious?
Yeah, like we can tell something's off and we're like, wait a minute, when's the last time? Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should, let's do that. And then we have sex and it's like, oh, yeah, wait, what were we mad about? Why did we have an attitude with each other for 3 days?
I hear you.
It's interesting.
I know what you're saying. You're saying you promised penis in this stupid news, and you want more. Give me more D.
We want penis.
I got it right here. I do. Although I got to say, I thought we had learned our lesson with this. Another effing dude ordered the hot tea while riding on an airplane.
Oh, no.
Stop it. It's not a good idea.
And, of course, it spilled. And from what the story tells me, it burned the balls and the rod right off of him.
Man.
He limped out of there with third-degree burns and disfiguring scars on his frank plus beans. This happened on what they call here a Frontier Airlines flight. The poor sumbitch, with the smoke still pouring out the front of his boxer shorts. He's a 56-year-old feller who goes by the name of Sean Miller. He was flying home to Philadelphia when he ordered some tea to drink. He did.
Do these drinks not have lids on them?
Yeah, they have lids. I just think something went haywire.
Some people they take them off to let it cool down quicker. That's my guess.
Word is the tea was scalding hot. That's the word they use, and filled to the brimski. Now, I don't know if he dropped it on his own wad or if someone else spilled it on him, but it caused, quote, highly unsightly and embarrassing discoloration on his penis, scrotum, and testes. The burns have significantly decreased sensation in his penis, he says. I mean, aside from the unbelievable pain that's described here, he also says there are scars, the coloring is off now, all over the damn thing, and the sensation is gone. As soon as the plane landed, an ambulance hauled him over to a hospital, burn center. Okay, here's some more information on this guy's melted package. Lawsuit talk, because he's suing everybody. Due to the tightly situated plane seat configuration. Due to how crowded it was on the plane, Mr. Miller was unable to get up from his seat after the spill and instead was trapped in agonizing pain.
Oh.
He couldn't go left. He couldn't go right. He just had to, he just had to wear it.
Me out. That would stress me out so much. I wouldn't know what to do. Like, move.
My genitalia's on fire.
He couldn't. He just had to stay locked in that middle seat. All right. Now, this is my favorite part of the story, though. This is my favorite part. He also suffered a herniated disc in his back while writhing in agony.
He just can't catch a break.
Yes, poor guy.
Now, picturing that in my head is fun.
Yeah.
Not only is your damn dork been scalded into dust, but he also yanked out his back in the process, like an old truck driver. Just, oh, God, my back.
My penis, my back, my penis, my back.
And he also says he's been encountering sexual dysfunction ever since the burn.
What would be worse, like the face? I'm trying to think, like because top of mind, like the first thing I'd say would be my genitalia, but then I thought maybe face would be bad too.
Well, you have to wear that around everywhere you go.
Yep.
I feel terrible for folks who have been burned.
But if this guy can never be intimate again, I mean, that's rough.
Well, he's 50, what did I say, 6? Did I say that?
I think
yes, he's 50, he's 56. And we've often said, Josh, at our age, our gear isn't that important to us anymore.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be in that situation, but I'm there.
I dig it and everything.
I don't want it to be burned.
I still like to use it now and again. No, nobody wants their gear to be burned. I dig mine. It's done a lot of great things for me over the years.
I've heard rave reviews from yours.
Still important, but just not as important as it used to be. So maybe at 56, as much pain as he went through, maybe this guy would say, yeah, I'd rather it been my D and balls than my face.
I'd rather have it be my genitals than my face. I don't need that. And then you have to worry about your eyes.
Oh, the eyes.
What is going to happen to the eyes?
Always the eyes.
Good
It's like
question.
a doll's eyes. You ever seen a shark's eyes? Got lifeless eyes.
Ashley, you gave some advice. You said if you and your boyfriend aren't having sex regularly, gross, that, maybe the relationship's in a little bit of trouble. But once you do have sex, you kind of patch things up, gross.
Yep.
Better than Dana at Mario Kart Jesus said, that's some good advice. Next time he has a disagreement with someone at work, he's going to ask if they want to have sex and maybe solve that relationship.
Perfect. Yeah, just start getting undressed right there.
And Sartel Jesus wants to know how many months have to pass without sex to be considered a sexless relationship. She put the number at 2.5 months.
I guess I don't know.
That's a good
I thought
question.
it'd be lower, like maybe a month.
Can you give me that
Oh,
scenario
really?
one more time?
Maybe to me, a month doesn't seem outrageous. So this is Sartel Jesus. How many months have to pass without sex to be considered a sexless relationship? She put the over-under at 2.5.
Everyone's a little different because I know people that are like totally fine having sex like once a month. So that's only, obviously only 12 times a year. And that doesn't seem healthy to me, but to them, like they're fine.
So maybe that's the answer, right? What both people are comfortable
Everybody's
with?
different.
Or sometimes there's more than two people.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, back to this guy.
Sometimes there's just one, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, don't talk about me like that.
Sorry.
Back to this guy who had his package burned up by hot tea on an airplane ride. He says he has post-traumatic stress disorder. He says he has a lack of self-esteem. He says everywhere he goes now, it smells like oysters being cooked on a hot sidewalk.
Sure, that's his penis.
And he's seeking $150,000 in damages.
I think I'd want him a little bit more.
All right, once more with the Johnson talk. I thought this was a joke. Is this a joke? Right here in front of me, I have what appears to be a full-on serious story about the now infamous condition known as winter penis. I always thought
it's a thing. There's winter and summer penis. It seems like there's a ton of medical journals that write about it every year.
It's not just shrinkage?
Well, I think that's what they're saying. I mean, they're just calling it winter penis.
Is the new term for shrinkage.
Yeah, and when it's cold.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Because there's fear shrinkage. I've had fear shrinkage.
Oh, sure.
before.
That's a real thing.
Yep.
So this is just okay. I kept trying to figure out, okay, is this a joke? But kind of what I assumed. Winter penis is just the funny new term for shrinkage. Doctors talking about how the cold conditions are set to hit hard in the coming weeks. The freezing weather is about to have an unwanted side effect on your wang. It's a real thing, according to medical experts. Oh,
women need to know this, right? It's important to get this message out.
Yeah, thank you.
Would that make a difference to you, Ashley? Go, oh, it's winter penis.
That's why it's so small.
No, I would never think of that.
You wouldn't think it was winter? Now that
No.
you know, would you cut a guy some slack, maybe?
Maybe.
Show a little grace, Ashley. Come on.
There's a doctor involved here explaining what winter penis is all about. You want to know his name, Cubby?
Of course.
Dr. Donald Grant. Sip, cup up, pop, Grant.
With some enthusiasm.
He says that winter penis is the body's temporary response to a drop in temperatures. It occurs due to restricted blood flow. The body prioritizes other more essential areas to maintain warmth, such as vital organs found in our core. So the penis is left out. And that's why the sumbitch makes a smooth exit towards our abdomen in the cold ski. The testicles shrink. Everything. It's a completely natural reaction, Dr. Grant says. Don't worry when your little pee-pee goes missing. Remember the guy I told you about at the urinal? Where were we drinking that night, Josh? We had just gone and completely wasted an evening on that silly event where Swedish kids would fall down a hill wearing ice skates.
Crash dice.
That was the dumbest event that's ever been hosted in this town, was the crash dice, where Swedish kids fell down a hill while wearing ice skates, and everyone showed up like it was a real sport. But it was so dumb. It was cold that night, and we went to, what's that bar? Allery's. We went to Allery's. And I urinated next to a guy who openly admitted, because we all came in from the cold, and we all had to take a whiz from drinking beer. I urinated next to a guy who openly announced to the crowd while he was at the urinal that he said he was sorry it was taking so long, but he could not find his penis.
I've been in that spot where I thought, I know it was here.
He said to everyone in line behind him, he said, I know this is taking me a while, but I, honest to God, cannot find the damn thing.
I know I left the house with it.
Yeah.
I've had that I've had both things happen. I one time in summer, I got out of the shower and I thought, my God, whose penis is that? Because I had the summer and shower penis. I've only taken one D-pic, and I had thought of maybe taking another one just for my own personal memory, just to know.
You did take a D-pic.
Just one time. It was a requested one. But
you had to.
I was a young man. That particular time, it would have been just for me, so I could know it was possible.
Do you still have it by chance?
No, I deleted it immediately.
Shoot.
All right, so
otherwise I'd hook you up.
Let's close out this conversation on winter penis, otherwise known as shrinkage. It happens when it gets cold, this, that. But Dr. Grisant did go on to say, this is the only part of the story that means anything, because we've all known about shrinkage for decades, and suddenly we're acting as if it's a concerning health condition. It's not. Unless Dr. Grisant did say, if your little wiener shrinks down to nothing in the cold and then it doesn't come back once it warms up, then you should go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Do women know about shrinkage?
It shrinks?
Like a frightened turtle.
If it doesn't come back, Josh, once the temperature rises, then there is a problem.
Yeah, I would freak out.
You don't want permanent winter penis. Well, we ran out of time. I told you, a lot of dong.
Odd dong.
In today's stupid news, and we just didn't have time for the others. But I hope you were entertained.
Thoroughly.
Always.
Thoroughly.
Tomorrow's Vagina Day.
Oh, fun.
Vagina Tuesday.
All vaginal stories tomorrow in the stupid news. We'll take a break, come back with the sports.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They got their heads up their ass.
On 93X.
Sports. On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Referee Mark Calloy warning Paul not to measure. Well, he measured him, and then he hit him with a right and left. Tyson coming forward, but Paul is landing the cleaner, effective punches. And Tyson breathing heavily as he makes his way back to the corner.
After 8 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jake El Gallo Paul!
Yeah, that fake boxing match between the once dangerous Mike Tyson and the YouTube kid was exactly what you should have expected. It was a predetermined dance contest with the YouTube kid winning by decision. Hopefully now we can get back to real things. It was a nice break from real competitive sports, I guess, Josh. We can talk way more about it.
For you.
Pardon me?
Just a little entertaining, that's about it.
Yeah, just a little entertainment on the side. Now we can get back to real competition. We can get into it with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. I forgot. Brad Ryder, it's Monday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
Brad
right.
Ryder, going to be on the telephone. And we saw Tyson's broken old ass cheeks on television. Sure, we'll get into all that. The Vikings won the ball game in Nashville yesterday. By God, they dodged a few bullets along the way. But they got her done. They defeated the Titans 23-13 or something along those lines. Timberwolves are going to kill me. They're going to kill me dead, Josh, before the end of the season if they keep this up. Overtime Friday night. Near overtime yesterday. I mean, great shot by Julius Randle, but they're going to friggin' kill me. I mean, that basketball left his fingertips at the very, very last tenth of a second.
Who was it? When we were on the phone yesterday, you mentioned somebody had a good shot and you were surprised by it.
Dante DiVincenzo.
Oh, that's who it was?
Because he's been struggling so badly. But he had a couple of decent buckets. I'll be dead by April if they keep doing this to me. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder joining us in a half hour. Don't go anywhere. Cubbies News is next.
There's a douchiness to them.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast.
Lionel Luthor stops by the kid home.
Is that Seinfeld? What is the deal?
Trying to blackmail her for the footage.
Come on. He sees an envelope and goes, he must be getting blackmailed.
He's behind it, the whole thing.
He's not.
He is. He made her think she was being blackmailed.
He's the one that... Oh, I didn't get that.
I was surprised. Yeah. That was a great scene.
Interesting things of note.
Talkville, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
I just think it's disgusting. Somebody's out there spreading false information, false hope for people. It's just horrifying.
A 44-year-old Virginia...
False information these days, Josh. There's no way that's happening.
It's happening. I'm sorry to say. A 44-year-old Virginia woman was arrested for allegedly impersonating a registered nurse across multiple California hospitals, overseeing the care of more than 60 patients in just a month. She was busy. The suspect was taken into custody by the Burbank Police Department after it was discovered she'd been working as a nurse at a Los Angeles County hospital using falsified credentials. During her brief employment, she treated dozens of patients, received 2 paychecks before staff uncovered her deception. The hospital, promptly fired her and reported the incident to authorities. As detectives dug deeper, they uncovered a disturbing pattern. It wasn't even close to the first time she posed as a medical professional. The investigation revealed she'd previously been arrested for a similar scheme in the past. And police now suspect she secured jobs at multiple more facilities by using false identities. Turns out she's already on federal probation for fraud convictions in Virginia, where she orchestrated a far-reaching scam that included posing as a nurse and committing bank fraud. In her Virginia case, she held a position as a nursing supervisor for 6 months.
Whoa.
Apparently, she also caused over $120,000 in financial losses for the hospital. She used stolen Social Security numbers to open fraudulent bank accounts, amassing over $450,000 in cash, loans, and goods and services. She must be very, very charming to be able to charm her way into all these jobs and higher positions.
She's got to have a skill set.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Good liar.
A 26-year-old former Minnesota corrections officer has been sentenced to over 2 years in federal prison for collaborating with an inmate to smuggle meth into Stillwater State Prison. The scheme, which operated for at least 3 months in early 2022, involved a 37-year-old inmate serving a murder sentence. Federal prosecutors revealed the pair were romantically involved, and their illicit partnership began when the officer smuggled a cell phone into the facility shortly after starting her job. Using the phone, the two coordinated efforts to obtain meth from outside sources. The officer then smuggled the drugs into the prison, where the inmate distributed them to others. To protect the operation, she also provided advance warnings about impending cell searches, helping the inmate conceal contraband. The operation came to light when officers discovered the inmate's cell phone, uncovering hundreds of incriminating messages detailing the smuggling activities and their relationship. A subsequent search of the officer's car uncovered 1/2 pound of meth, sealing that case against her.
Well, that's terrible. However, I got to say that if I ever go to prison and do real time, there better be some meth there.
Yeah, something to pass the time.
Get you through your day.
There
It'd be
better
pretty cool
be.
to have sex with a corrections officer as well. If you had some intimacy, you know.
Oh, it always looked pretty hot when I watched Oz.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Local drug smugglers aren't just hustling to slip contraband into heavily guarded prisons. They're also combining depravity with creativity to sneak drugs across state lines. A 25-year-old Twin Cities man has been sentenced to over 13 years in prison for his role in a sophisticated and a little bit adorable fentanyl operation, if, of course, it didn't have the potential to kill a lot of people. According to court documents, the man conspired with others to distribute fentanyl across Minnesota, orchestrating trips from the Twin Cities to Phoenix to purchase the deadly drug. Using the U.S. Postal Service, the group disguised shipments as birthday gifts, concealing fentanyl pills in plastic bags hidden within stuffed animals. They even lined the packages with dog treats in a calculated effort to outsmart drug-sniffing dogs.
How does that outsmart a drug-sniffing dog?
That they, the dogs are indicating on the treats. Certainly there's no drugs in there.
Yeah, they just want the bacon bits.
That's interesting. I would want to try to come up with something that would, not interest the dogs at all, where they went the other way with that.
There's some good news, though. Officials say opioid-related deaths in Minnesota dropped 8% between 2022 and 2023. A 39-year-old former now police officer has gone from wielding handcuffs to wearing them after stealing money from a drug dealer while on the job. Crime is illegal, even if you're a cop, the district attorney said. An investigation revealed while serving as a vice officer, the man pocketed thousands in cash seized during an operation and attempted to cover up the theft.
The charges stem from an investigation. Allegedly stole $5,500 in cash while acting as an Allentown police vice officer. He concealed the theft of that cash.
He was one of the officers tasked with counting the confiscated money and later had access to a van where it was stored. When the cash was discovered missing at the station, he grew combative with colleagues and abruptly left, refusing a personal search. According to adding to the scandal, the veteran officers alleged that the former cop not only stole the drug money, but also humped prostitutes while on duty.
No, dude.
He did?
He did. And there's more. He's also facing charges of criminal mischief and harassment after an altercation with a real estate appraiser. According to reports, the appraiser had been hired to evaluate his neighbor's property, leading the former officer to confront the appraiser for some reason and cause $2,500 in damage to that appraiser's vehicle.
Wow, this guy was awful busy.
Yeah, I guess he thought some of those were job perks, and his boss just said, no.
One for me, one for you.
That's not how you do it. Construction crews in New York have been accused of disturbing and invasive behavior, blatantly spying on female fashion students through dorm windows, using binoculars even.
You creepers.
Filming them, and even setting up chairs to watch, say residents. The harassment centers around workers at 2 Manhattan West, a 58-story skyscraper in Hudson Yards. Students at the Fashion Institute of Technology's Kaufman Hall, as well as an adjacent apartment building, say they've endured these invasions of privacy almost daily. Videos shared online back up those claims. In one video, a construction worker wearing a hard hat is seen peering into student living spaces. Many current and former students have come forward describing similar experiences. One resident who posted her own video evidence caught workers recording at least 5 times and has seen them use binoculars and setting up chairs to watch the dorms. In a particularly disturbing incident, she saw workers filming a student who was nude after showering.
Oh.
When she confronted one of the men, he reportedly laughed and replied, "What do you expect? It's New York." The viral video...
I hate that bit.
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorite bits.
That's the excuse for everything. The viral video has prompted some students to keep their blinds closed permanently, while other non-pervy workers helped with some damage control. They covered building windows with sheets of paper. School administrators, the apartment building's management, and police say they're taking the accusations seriously and have launched investigations. They did. I mean, these guys weren't even trying to hide it.
That's so disgusting.
Just blatantly doing it?
Yeah, not at all.
Anybody here want to admit that they got the binoculars out once or twice for a hot neighbor?
Never
Never
once.
did.
We did it at St. Cloud State. I'll go ahead and admit that. Never used any recording devices. We didn't have any. But we had some hot ladies that lived in an apartment complex across the street. And one of my pals came into my bedroom with a set of binoculars. And, we used the binoculars. Never really saw anything too wonderful. But we tried. And then next thing you know, my buddy comes to me and says, "We're having a house party tonight." And I said, "Oh, sweet." And he said, "Yeah, guess who's coming?" he said, the gals from across the street. I said, really? And he said, yeah, I ran into one of them this way, that way, and they agreed to come to our house party. So I was like, okay, great. They walk in, and the first girl, I think, from that group walks in straight up to me and says, so you're the one with the binoculars? They knew all along. They knew all along. They could see us.
Yeah.
And I was pretty ashamed of myself in that moment. And I had to admit it.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty small,
you
too.
have to.
Oh, God. That was friggin' embarrassing.
A South Carolina teacher filed a sexual harassment complaint for unwanted hugs from another person at the school. And that person is a 10-year-old student. The teacher said once last month the child laid his head on her chest while he hugged her. In another instance, the same month, she said he pressed his body into hers and wrapped his arms around her. She claims she told him then, hugging from behind is very inappropriate and don't do it again. Earlier this month, the teacher claims the student approached her from behind, pressed his body into hers, and put his hands around her hips.
Oh, weird.
Apparently, he was attempting another hug, which led her to file the complaint. The boy's mom says that she's hurt and confused because she wasn't aware there was even an issue and that her son is just a loving kid. The school district said they're working to ensure both parties feel heard.
As far as having a response one way or the other, our goal is just to provide a safe environment for all our students and staff, and we also just want to make sure that they're aware of their rights and that we go through the correct processes to protect those rights.
The child is now on a no-hug policy while the claims are investigated. Haven't heard of that one before.
The old no-hug policy, huh?
You would hate that, Josh.
Being hugged?
A no-hug policy.
Oh, I'm not touchy-feely.
Oh, you are.
No, I'm not.
Last time you got your arms around me, I feared you'd never let go.
Well, you're different.
Oh.
Yeah, you're the exception to the rule. I save all my hugs for you.
Get over here, you big bastard.
You know, one thing we've never had? The one-armed bro hug. Got to go two. Every time between the two of us.
We're way above the one-armed bro hug.
A Connecticut high school science experiment went terribly wrong Wednesday when a gas leak sent a teacher and student to the hospital. The guy's son, one of the students, apparently the dad said, and I'll play a clip in a few seconds here. The dad said his son was more concerned that he had to go back to school. They cleaned it up too quick.
Well, we all know that feeling around here, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Sure do.
Yeah. Students and teachers were conducting an experiment combining nitric acid with copper pennies in a closed-loop setup to generate nitrogen dioxide gas. But the controlled environment cracked, literally, when a malfunction caused a tube to break, releasing the toxic gas into the air. Nitrogen dioxide, harmless in small amounts, can be perilous in high concentrations. The gas can quickly overwhelm the respiratory system, causing dizziness, throat discomfort, and severe eye irritation. In some cases, exposure can even lead to unconsciousness. As the fumes spread, the school immediately evacuated for 30 tense minutes. Firefighters cleared the gas from the building with mechanical ventilation, while environmental officials sweep that building.
I asked him, am I coming to pick you up? And he said, no, I think we're going back in. So he was probably more bummed about that than anything.
A lot of kids were. The teacher and student suffering from dizziness and eye and throat irritation were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. They're going to be fine. 14 other students were evaluated on the scene before being released. A 60-year-old Minnesota man is facing multiple felony charges after firing what he called warning shots at a group of deer hunters. The tense encounter happened Sunday, November 10th, when a Norman County Sheriff's deputy responded to a rural area after reports of gunfire and threats. When the deputy arrived, two hunters said they were deer hunting on their property when a man fired 3 shots in rapid succession. Moments later, they heard a chilling warning over a loudspeaker.
Oh, heck no. No.
Those are the warning shots. The next shots will be in your direction. This is your opportunity to get the F out.
It's never a good idea to fire a gun at people who also have guns.
That's a good point.
There's always got to be one crackpot out there. Well, so what crazy idea did this guy have in his head?
Well, he said he didn't. Afterwards, he had conflicting statements. And he also denied making the threats. And he claimed, no. I was just scaring deer out of his yard. You know how it is. You get over a loudspeaker and threaten the deer, and they never come back.
You better speak in plain English, too, when you're threatening a deer. Listen, deer, it's me, the guy with the guy. So what ended up happening? They arrested Dinkus?
Yeah, he's in some trouble.
What the hell's the matter with you?
A 32-year-old a mother sparked chaos at a Michigan water park hotel, fleeing after assaulting a front desk employee during a heated argument over a declined credit card. The incident occurred at Splash Universe Hotel November 9th, about 4:55 p.m.
I'll take you to Splash Universe Hotel. By God, I will.
According to reports, the woman attempted to book a room online but became irate when her card was declined. When a 20-year-old employee tried to de-escalate the situation, the mother's anger boiled over. As the employee called 911, the enraged woman jumped the counter, shoved the worker, and struck her, leaving not only hotel staff but also her kid in shock, as well as her 8 other kids, who also saw Mommy freak out.
That's a lot of babies.
Mm-hmm. Amid the commotion, the mother gathered all 9 of her children and fled before police arrived. However, her escape was short-lived. Ironically, investigators were able to track her using video surveillance and that very same credit card that was declined and leading to the dispute.
And the kids didn't know Mom was capable of such a thing, huh?
I don't know. It freaked them out, they said. So maybe they're very well aware Mom has that gear.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they've seen that before.
Jumping over a counter and choking out a clerk.
Yeah, because her credit card was declined.
I love it.
It's all Texas tonight on Monday Night Football. Dallas hosts Houston. Later on CBS, The Making of Gladiator 2. And on Max, Watchmen Chapter 1, a 2-part animated remake of the DC Comics movie. Owen Wilson turns 56 today.
Who?
Wow. Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I like Owen Wilson.
Very funny.
Metallica guitarist Kirk Hammett, 62. And it was on this day in 2016, Metallica released their album Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Kevin Nealon, 71, and that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
Ah! What the hell? I just saw your balls. They're hanging out. Oh, my God. Balls are disgusting. They're hideous.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
But in Darnold, meantime, sneaks it into the end zone. So the massive call against the Titans defense, frustrations boiling over on their sideline, and Darnold able to cash in for 6.
Yeah, that's a tough break.
What a moment here. Boy, they nearly get to Darnold as he hits his man. Wide open, it's Edison. Edison, touchdown. Sam Darnold, a magnificent pass, and Edison does the rest for the Vikings.
Hey, fellas, do me a favor real quick. Give it up for yourself. All right, through 10 football games, you guys are 8-2. All right, you showed up today, gritty win. All right, responses on either side when we had to have them.
Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Buddies for life, I say.
Sure.
Thank you, Brad.
Whatever you say.
Buddies for life. How you guys doing, you ugly bastards? How was your weekend?
Good.
Yeah, mine was good too. I did the Vegas trip with my wife this past weekend.
You went to Las Vegas?
Yeah, we did the Adele concert I'd been talking about a couple weeks ago. So
how was it?
It was really good. I personally, my wife is a huge fan, so she obviously loved it. I'm not the biggest fan of hers, but she puts on a good show. It was really fun.
Did you do any gambling while you were there?
A little bit, yeah. We also went to see went to Brad Garrett's Comedy Club on Saturday night. That was fun.
Brad Garrett's Comedy Club.
It's actually a good place. You'd be surprised, Nick.
No. I wasn't laughing because I thought that's a ridiculous idea. I was actually picturing his role on Everybody Ditch Raymond. I loved that character, Robert, Raymond's younger. I forgot, but he's larger brother.
And he's very irreverent. But he's very funny. Nick, you would have loved him.
I'm sure I would. I loved that. Like I said, I loved that character. So that's why you missed out on the show.
No, I was here Friday. We left for the airport right after I hung up with you.
Just a quick 2-day deal, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
How are the dancers?
The what?
The dancers.
Excuse me?
Spearmint Rhino.
You mean strippers, right?
Yeah, of course.
Spearmint Rhino? Cheetahs? Where did you go?
Thunder from Down Under?
Didn't do that.
What was the name of that place I went to downtown? Gulch. Help me. 651-989-9393. Glitter Gulch. That was a boom boom room I hit downtown Vegas.
Gulch.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with, it's like the area called Gulch, or you know anything
I think
about it?
because it was right next door to the Golden Nugget. So they stuck with that theme,
Gotcha.
glitter, gold, that whole thing?
Yeah.
So you didn't go to Glitter Gulch, Cheetahs, or Spearmint Rhino?
No. Can't say that I did, no.
Well, that's kind of cool that you and the old lady, you had a little fun, huh? A couple of drinks.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
And did you make some future bets? Randy Shaver wants to know about the future bets.
Didn't do any future stuff, but while I was there, I did okay Saturday and took some, well, Randy knows this, I took some slips home with me and did all right yesterday, too.
Okay. What about cards, slot machines, that whole schmear?
When I used to go back, I don't know, in the day, and Randy can attest to this. I mean, I used to play a little blackjack, but now it seems like, the blackjack tables, they're so. There used to be like $5-10 blackjack tables. They're
not anymore.
Not anymore. I mean, the lowest denomination blackjack table I saw was like $25 a hand. I ain't doing that. I'm sorry.
No, gross.
Wow. And there's machines where you can sit down and play, for a couple of bucks or $5 or $10. But I miss those days where you could sit around with 6 complete strangers and have a little fun and talk to them and stuff. But I can't do that. I can't sit down at a $25 blackjack table. I don't make that kind of money.
Well, we're going to talk about that dance contest Friday night in a minute. We're not going to. I suppose. No. We'll get to the dance contest. But was there a big crowd hanging around television watching that nightmare on Friday night, Brad Ryder, in Las Vegas?
Oh, the fight? Well, that's when I was
at
dance
the adult contest.
Yeah, well, I was at the Adele concert while that was going on.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. I'm not familiar. Adele? Sing me one of her biggest hits.
Yeah, Brad, sing it, man.
Yes, Brad. Sing one of her biggest hits.
I recognize maybe 3 or 4 of the songs she sung, but they're popular ones. You've heard those before, the ones that I've heard.
I probably haven't. I probably haven't, but I've heard the name before. No, Brad, I really, honestly, I probably haven't. Listeners are texting in and saying that Glitter Gulch topless joint there in downtown Vegas is no more. It got decked.
Oh, no.
I've only been to Las Vegas once, and that was enough for me. But I was there, and I stayed downtown, and it was during the rodeo, which was a great time to go. Everywhere as we went, 25-cent beers, because it was the rodeo.
Nice.
And we had a great time. And I went to that Glitter Gulch, me and the girl I was seeing at the time, and it was full of cowboys, like real cowboys, because the rodeo was in town. And then, in the blink of an eye, the cowboys left. And we were left with just the regular people that would be at Glitter Gulch at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I bet that was something to see.
And it was not good.
No.
And we got the hell out of there. I looked around and I said, where'd all the cowboys go? They were gone. All right. Well, we're glad you had a good time, Brad Ryder.
Yeah.
We certainly are glad you. The Vikings won their ball game in Nashville yesterday, but by God, they dodged a few bullets along the way. Sam Darnold had a mostly clean game. That's how I've read it. I've read a few people describe Darnold's performance as, quote, mostly clean. And I think that's because he threw a lot of interceptions in the last couple of weeks. But yesterday, okay, so he lost a fumble on the 3rd play of the game. But after that, he made up for it and had a nice start. Would you agree with that? A mostly clean game?
Sure. I would agree with that. And I would say that this stretch of games right now is proving to be a very promising set of 3 games for the Vikings on the road to get the Bears next week, who are fumbling their way to another bad season.
Oh, sure. We talked a few times about how this was going to be the cakewalk portion of their, but it's been a little bit more of an adventure than you thought. These 2 games.
It has been, but. When you play teams that self-destruct, like Tennessee did yesterday, first of all, they're just not very good. A lot of mistakes. Some of those penalties weren't penalties. Some really questionable and tough calls by the refs because they happened so fast.
Mm-hmm.
They hit in the end zone. There were some other plays. Tough calls, but still some self-inflicted mistakes by Tennessee that nullified a touchdown and nullified a big gain. And
they had 13 penalties for 91 yards, the Tennessee Titans.
It was just, and their offensive line is not very good. They couldn't run the ball against the Vikings. I will say this about the Levis kid. He's got a strong arm, man. He can throw the ball. There's no question. They just don't have
It's a matter of which club he
when you
throws
don't
it
have
to.
somebody to protect you.
Yeah, there's no talent around the guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's just nothing really there. And I don't know. Just
kind
me
of
watching the game, I thought they were poorly coached. It just was not a good game.
It's kind of the Sam Darnold theory a little bit, where you've got a guy and you can see the talent is there, but he just never had, with Darnold too, he never had a chance to really unleash it before this year because he wasn't properly coached in the right system and he didn't have talent around him.
Right. So, I mean, it's a big win for the Vikings, obviously, when you have the Lions doing what they're doing right now, and Green Bay survives a last-minute victory over Chicago. The division is turning out to be a three-way race, and it's going to be likely, if you look around the NFC, likely all three of these teams, if they keep playing the way they are, will make the playoffs, because the rest of the NFC, other than a couple of teams in the East, are kind of dog crap. So it's kind of shaken out that way right now, that you got to keep winning in this division, because otherwise you're not going to win the division, but B, if you can keep doing that, looking around the rest of the league, you're probably going to make it as a wild card.
Let's say a little more about the Chicago Bears there. They haven't beaten the Green Bay Packers since the year of 2018. 10 straight losses. Now it's up to 11. The Bears lost again, and at least I didn't see a second of it, but the story tells me it was devastating this time around. They lost in devastating fashion. They're down a point. That rookie quarterback, Caleb Willem, gets them into field goal range. They had a 1st and 10 on the Green Bay 30 with 35 seconds left and one timeout, but they only ran one play. It was a 2-yard run. That set up a field goal attempt of 46 yards, which was tipped. And it did not go through the uprights. And folks in Chicago are wetting their pants, saying they should have been able to do more with the amount of time they had left and that timeout to get in better range for their kicker. And they had it so close to breaking that losing streak with stupid Green Bay, but they wet the bed. Packers got a fingertip on the kick, and it was enough to stop the ball from going through the uprights from so far out. Well, that sucks. They got to suck on that for another. Or do they play again before the year is over? I don't know.
Who's that?
The
Bears and the
Chicago, Green Bay? Oh, they probably do.
Yeah.
All right, so the Vikings won. Next up, they'll play at Chicago. Here's some other results from yesterday, and there were some interesting results. I mean, there goes Detroit again, putting 52 points on the board.
Yeah. Jeez, they're just playing great.
There goes the Pittsburgh Steelers, winning by 2 points over their division rival, the Baltimore Ravens. The Denver Broncos, are they a legitimate ball club? Now they beat.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
They beat the Atlanta Falcons 38-6. What's their quarterback's name? Give it to me.
Bonus.
He threw 4 touchdown passes?
Yeah, he's looking really good.
And as far as the Falcons go, they benched the nerd. They've had enough of little smiling Kirk Cousins with his little positive attitude. They said, "Sit down, you suck." We'll put the new kid in. What's the new kid's name?
Penix. Michael Penix, right?
I find that to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I enjoy that. Seattle Sea Ducks beat San Francisco by 3, a little division rival there. Buffalo ended the Chiefs' chance to go undefeated. Buffalo beat the Chiefs yesterday.
That NFC West is a hot mess. Holy cow! I'm looking at the standings now.
Oh yeah.
One team 6-4, and everybody else is 5-5.
The Rams are going to end up winning that division.
Probably, yeah.
That's my prediction.
By the way,
I predict the Rams win that division.
Ramming it. The folks are telling us, the listeners are telling us, the Bears and Packers play again in January. Okay, so the Bears have another chance to end that losing streak. What is this? I turned the television off last night, but the L.A. Chargers and Cincinnati Bengals.
Great game.
Yeah.
They had
Great
something
game.
going there.
Really.
I couldn't make it any longer. It was tied at 27. Cincinnati made a big comeback. So what happened? How did the Rams win?
Well, first of all, the Chargers were up big.
Not the Chargers,
and then the Bengals at halftime, it looked like the game was over.
Right.
And the Bengals scored like 3 touchdowns to tie the game at 27. And then just a last-second big touchdown run by the Chargers ended up winning the game. But crazy game. And, for all intents and purposes, the Bengals are screwed. I mean, they'd have to run the table, basically, to make the playoffs in the AFC. Normally they're always a starting team. They always seem to be 0-2 or 1-3 out of the gate, and then find themselves and take off and somehow make the playoffs. It's just not going to happen this year. They've lost many close games.
If you look at the AFC, there's really only one playoff spot in reality up for grabs, and they're going to have to win all 6 of their last games to get it.
I watched a little bit of that game last night, the L.A. Chargers, and the Cincinnati Bengals. And you know what I enjoyed about watching last night's game? It was very different than when Jim Harbaugh was coaching in college football. Last night's game, they did not have a camera just constantly hovering around Jim Harbaugh. They didn't make it all about him the way they did when he was coaching college football. Well, it seemed like they had a permanent camera hanging off the bill of his ball cap the entire friggin'. It was enjoyable. They almost barely focused on Jim Harbaugh at all. Good for them. Josh said it earlier, tonight's Monday Night Football game is the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, football. Here's a guy, Old Ass Jesus texted in. We were talking about the Glitter Gulch topless bar in Las Vegas, Nevada. Old Ass Jesus says, we were at Glitter Gulch in 1992. We offered money to one of the ladies to put her clothes back on. No, you did not.
No.
You did not.
You can't do
You don't look so friggin' good with your clothes off, I bet.
That's awful.
That's just terrible. Oh, what else is going on? Wildly overrated New York Jets wide receiver Davante Adams autographed a hamburger bun a few hours before.
That was pretty funny.
A few hours before kickoff of the Jets' home game yesterday against the Indianapolis Colts, he autographed a hamburger bun.
That's up on 93x.com.
Oh, I hope that hamburger bun's on eBay right now.
That's all the fan had on him was a hamburger bun.
That's all you got,
I guess. Just a couple weeks ago that autographed a tortilla?
I don't know.
Was that him? I got to look that up.
Wow. How do you do that without breaking it?
Good question.
Be very gentle.
And just pour the inside out somewhere, and
you got to be.
I saw where the Giants are starting Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. Well, Tommy Coldcut's back in it.
No, not Coldcut.
Coming back.
Cutlets.
Coming back.
Cold cut.
Yes.
Tommy Cutlets over there.
They're benching Daniel Jones, and they're bringing back Tommy DeVito.
Well, they got no choice, do they?
Shedeur
You always have a choice, but, man.
he just renewed his lease at his home.
Shedeur Sanders autographed a tortilla.
Yeah, am I pronouncing his first name correct?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you got it right.
Dion's kid.
Yeah, he autographed a tortilla.
All right. Well, whatever.
All of a sudden it gets moldy. No.
Like before, like I've said before, I once was very drunk, and in the presence, Josh, of Dawkin.
Awesome.
Not the Dawkin that I would have preferred.
That was going to be my follow-up.
It was missing. You're not going to feel bad for long. They were missing George Lynch.
That sucks.
But in his place was Reb Beach.
That's pretty awesome.
So it was Don Dawkin.
God darn it, I don't know which one I'd prefer.
It was Wild Mick Brown. It was Jeff Pilson, who's one of the hardest working rockers to ever live. He's wildly overlooked, Jeff Pilson. And it was Reb Beach. And I was very drunk, and I had them sign my wallet.
I'm sure they've signed all kinds of stuff.
Guys
Definitely.
They looked at me as if I was being ridiculous, and I likely was. Will you sign my wallet? But it was Doc, and how often do you get a chance? How often do you get a chance to meet the band that created the song Kiss of Death?
Never met him.
I had Deion Sanders way back in, this is 1989.
And burning like a flame, Josh. Burning like
1989. I had him sign a dollar bill.
Deion?
Yeah.
Well, that was perfect for him.
Yeah.
He was the money guy.
Better if it was a hundo.
You still have it?
I do. I still have it.
Good for you, Brad Ryder.
Because he was $1.
He had that song that said, God, what was his
Something
song?
the money. Let me see.
Well, that's Sean. That was Shane McMahon.
I'm singing it incorrectly, but yeah, what was it?
Here Comes the Money. That was Shane
there
McMahon.
There we go.
Where Deion was, must be the money. Where'd you meet Deion Sanders, Brad Ryder? Was it at Glitter Gulch?
No, back when I was in college, I worked part-time for a couple years on the Metrodome grounds crew. And when he was playing for the Yankees, back I want to say 88 or 89, he came through town, and I was in the visiting dugout before batting practice, and I pulled out a $1 bill, and he signed it for me.
That's incredible.
What did you do for the Metrodome ground crew? Vacuum the carpet?
We did a lot of changeovers. Back in the day, back when the Timberwolves played there that year, where we changed over from baseball to basketball to football back to baseball. And then I would chalk the lines too, like the batter's boxes before the games. And
don't you hate that, Brad, when Randy's all dismissive like that?
No, it's a valid question.
Well, what did you do there? Vacuum
like real grass. I mean,
No,
back then it was like concrete. Anyway,
it was
real turf.
Tear up that turf and roll it up in those Tootsie Rolls, and
awful.
Yeah, it was awful. It was hard work, but
the state of Utah. Everybody, they held their 8-man high school football championships on Saturday. They play 8-man football, likely because the towns are so friggin' small. They can't, get enough kids, so they play 8-man, kind of like we here play 9-man, and I'm looking forward to watching that next week. I always enjoy watching
it. It's this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Prep Bowl
this week.
I'm sorry?
Prep Bowl is Friday and Saturday this week.
Ripple.
Prep Bowl.
Prep Bowl. Prep Bowl. I thought you said Ripple. Oh, I thought they always had it after Thanksgiving. Anyway.
No, it's early. It's early this year because Thanksgiving is late, and the Vikings play a home game after Thanksgiving.
Well, they're doing it all wrong. At any rate, I'll be watching the 9-man. That's always fun for me. In Utah, they play 8-man in some situations. Now, at their 8-man high school football title game, instead of the traditional coin toss, the game began with the players fighting over a football that was dropped from the sky by a helicopter.
That's fun.
I don't know who came up with that and how they convinced folks to do it, but it's so awesome.
There's no information, Cubby, on the history, how long they've been doing it, why they do it this way, but here's how it works, by God. 2 captains from both teams meet at midfield, just the 2 of them. A helicopter comes into town, and it hovers above the 50-yard line. It drops the football from the air, and both captains battle to the death for the ball. Whichever team comes up with possession gets to return the kickoff. Why can't you just start? Awesome. I think it'd be more fun if you started from that field position, but after the helicopter drop, they still go through with a kickoff.
It would be more fun if all 11 players from each side were on the field and it was a live football.
There would be no bodies left.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
Yeah, but the article does say they have no idea the tradition, why this happened.
Yeah. All right, let's get this over with. The fake boxing match between the once dangerous Mike Tyson and the YouTube Kid was exactly what you should have expected. It was a predetermined dance contest, and the YouTube Kid won by decision. Yes, we saw Tyson's broken old ass cheeks on television before the fight, before you text in about it. Of course, we saw that. Angry fans believe, just as a headline I read, it's shocking, but it's true. Angry fans believe Jake Paul carried Mike Tyson through an awful fight. Well, yeah, why did you expect anything other than that?
Are they forgetting how old this guy is?
And they did allow gambling on this, did they not?
Yes, they did.
You could bet on this? Oh, my God.
You could, yeah. I was out there Friday, obviously, and you could bet on it.
Why in the world would you even think they'd let Tyson win that fight? There's just no way.
Now, I never had a doubt that this was nothing more than a patty cake dance-off. But if anyone else had any question about the legitimacy of the fight, that was answered by the YouTube Kid after the fight, where he said he eased up around the 3rd round because Tyson was losing steam. He said, I didn't want to hurt somebody that didn't need to be hurt. Just like, and that's the end of his quote. But there you go. That's That answers your question right there.
Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt. You know, I tried to give the fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone's just surviving in the ring, basically, it's hard to make it exciting.
Yeah, you're hard to be exciting anyway, dude. I wonder when this gimmick will ever lose its steam. You know, I don't know about you, but when I watch a boxing match, I want someone to hurt somebody else. I actually want a legitimate fight where one is trying to win, and both are trying to win. So I wonder when this gimmick will ever lose steam. It probably won't. Next up, he'll be fighting Dick Van Dyke or something. I don't know.
Somebody texted in earlier, and it was pretty funny. They said there was a bigger fight trying to get Netflix to work than the one they eventually watched.
Yeah.
That was the real fight.
That was an issue for everybody.
Wow.
Former NFL ballplayer Pac-Man Jones was arrested after the fake fight on Friday.
Oh, no, not Pac-Man.
Well, what the hell happened?
He hit a cop, allegedly.
Oh, no, that's not good.
No. He was arrested on a number of charges, it says here. Does everyone remember Pac-Man Jones?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
He was a lot of fun. There's video of Pac-Man. There's video of him being taken away by the police. He was at a place called the Lowe's Arlington Hotel, which is a short walk from the ballpark where they held the dance-off. He was arrested and booked on public intoxication, resisting arrest, evading arrest, assault on a police officer. Well, I certainly hope he's okay. Pac-Man Jones, I hope he's okay. Did you see the video, Josh? Mm-hmm. His outfit was interesting. Pac-Man Jones was dressed like a goth cowboy.
Yep.
That's the only way I can describe it. He was dressed. Was he not dressed like a goth cowboy?
I didn't know. Was he always kind of dressed that way, or was this?
I don't know.
Because it was a special occasion.
Was he going to a goth country show? But he got arrested. I was telling everyone earlier the Timberwolves are going to cause me to go into sudden cardiac arrest. Timberwolves. I'll be dead before I hit the barroom floor. With Friday night's overtime game in Sacramento and yesterday's finish with Phoenix, if this kind of thing keeps up, I'll be a goner. In the fourth quarter yesterday. Yes, Randy Shaver?
I was just going to say they win the game yesterday, and they didn't even face Kevin Durant. So the next time they face Phoenix, it'll be probably a different look than what they got last night. But
no Bradley Beal yesterday either.
Yeah, that's right.
In the fourth quarter yesterday, Julius Effin Randle launches a three-point shot at the very last tenth of a second on the clock, and the sumbitch went in. And that gave the Wolves a 3-point win over the Phoenix Suns. It was very exciting, very dramatic, but I'm telling you, I can't take much more.
Didn't De'Aaron Fox go off for like 60 in that overtime game?
Friday night.
That they won?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
And then yesterday, that pain-in-the-ass Devin Booker scored 44.
Wow.
And I'm not entirely sure how the hell they got it done, because the Suns played a terrific ball game. The Wolves weren't nearly as sharp as Phoenix all game long, but suddenly they had a late push. Phoenix missed some shots. They had their chance, and like I said, Randall hit that shot as the clock expired.
Having said all that, though, you got to find a way to tighten up your defense. If you're giving up 60 to one guy and 44 to another, yeah, you're winning. You won those two games, but the odds are probably not going to be in your favor if you keep giving up big games to players like that.
Monster games.
Yeah.
I don't know where the defense has gone. I don't understand
some
of their approaches out there on defense.
Is it gone because of Cat? Because that can't be the reason.
No, I don't think so. I just think it's early. I think you're seeing it a lot around the league, too. Just a lot of high-scoring games, too. I just think it's early in the year, and maybe teams aren't locked in yet defensively. I don't know.
Because, they're just not the same club yet that we knew them to be last year. Anthony Edwards had an impact, of course. He had 24 points, 22 of them after halftime. But this was Julius Randle's best game as a Timberwolf, 35 points.
Yeah.
Up next, they play at the Toronto Raptors on Thursday. Now, back to Friday's game against Sacramento. Anthony Edwards fined $30-some thousand for giving the basketball hoop the finger.
Oh, come on.
Did you guys see this?
I thought it was cute. I do that sometimes when I'm like mad at inanimate objects. Yeah, I'll flip them off.
I've given inanimate objects the finger as well.
They deserve it.
Yep. So I forgot if this was the end of the half or end of the third quarter. This is 3-4 days ago, but Edwards launches up a shot. I think it was like half court or something, just one of those desperation last-second end-of-the-half shots, and it almost went in. And Edwards pointed at the rim that he just shot the basketball at, and then he gave it the finger.
It's hilarious.
And for cutting loose with that, what's the term, inappropriate gesture, he was fined $35,000. That was funny. And then after the game, of course, he swore on live television. You can't contain him, Josh.
No, you can try.
He's
Good
buck
luck.
wild. Sylvia Fowles, all-time great Minnesota Lynx player, has been named to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
Sweet.
Cool.
She'll be inducted next June alongside other characters like Sue Bird, Cappy Pondexter, that's a hell of a name, Alana Beard. Those are just some of the gals going into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Of course, Sylvia here won a couple of titles. Both titles she won, she was the MVP. She was a 4-time Olympic champion. For God's sake, what is this? I had something else spectacular in here. Made the WNBA All-Defensive Team 8 times. So she certainly deserves it. 8th player already from the Lynx inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
And
well, there was a stretch where they had the greatest players in the league.
That's got to be the most of any WNBA team, right?
I don't know. I would think so.
I don't know.
Simone Augustus, Teresa Edwards, Andrea Lloyd, Taj McWilliams, Franklin, Maya Moore, Katie Smith, Lindsay Whalen, and now Sylvia Fowles. This has been, Pigs play, don't tell me, tomorrow night against the St. Louis Blues, I believe?
Yep.
Home game, away game?
Away.
Oh, you never want to go into St. Louis's arena. You never do. Pigs right wing Mats Zuccarello had surgery.
Oofda.
Oh, boy.
He had surgery on a lower body injury, and he won't be playing for 3 to 4 weeks. He got hit by a shot by his teammate Brock Faber, and that was last Thursday against Montreal. They say here the puck hit him just below the waist. What do you mean, just below the waist? We're talking about a nut shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
And somebody texted in and said he's having one of his beans removed.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, bummer.
He took one in the pills, and it turned to dust, and they got to just cut it out of there. That's what. That's the story. That's a rumor that I've gotten. But he took one in the bag. It's terrible.
And he's not going to have anesthesia when they do it. No.
He's not tough. Hockey players are tough.
Well, since Brock shot the puck, I think it's only right that Brock gives him one of his balls now.
Well, I don't know. What's he supposed to do running on one gear?
He's a young kid. He'll be fine.
Zuccarello, good player. But that's the rumor. I didn't see the highlight, the replay.
Oh, it looked like it got him right there.
But everyone's telling me.
It was kind of tough to tell. I wouldn't have thought it was a nut shot right away.
Oh, okay. I'd have to see the replay. People have been texting in all morning saying it was a shot to the balls and one of them is gone.
After I saw that, because at first they didn't say that. Like you said, they said lower body.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of looked like it was inner thigh. So
okay.
Maybe he's very lucky. I don't know.
Maybe he's blessed.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
I'd have to see the replay. But the listeners seem to think one of his nuts got caught up in that nightmare, and they got to get it out of there.
God. Brutal.
Mm-hmm. I know a couple guys who had nuts carved out for cancer.
Yeah,
I know
same
one.
Here.
But I'm trying to think if I know any. But well, okay. There was the guy I played softball against who took a softball to his nuts. But I don't know if they had to remove it for him. But I do know that it swelled up to about the size of a kitten ball.
Oh, boy.
Pretty quickly. It scared the hell out of him and everyone else on the bench.
Oh, God.
He had to go to the hospital. Text in if you know somebody who's lost a ball due to an impact injury like that. 651-989-9393. An impact injury.
Not much a cup can do for, if you're a hockey player, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And you take one.
Square.
A puck in the square. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much a cup can do for you.
No, and I don't know. I wonder how serious hockey players take when it comes to protecting their gear, because we know baseball players don't.
Well, not all baseball players do. I think there are some that for sure.
Right.
Outfielders probably don't.
No.
You're right.
But
Catchers,
infielders and catchers for sure.
Not all of them do, though. We know this to be true. So some of the players take their testicular and penis health very seriously and put on the best possible protection. Others don't.
I could not imagine sitting in front of the net when a 110-mile-per-hour slap shot comes in. Oh.
I also couldn't imagine being at shortstop when a 115-mile-per-hour baseball's coming at me.
Yeah,
but some take it seriously, some don't.
Right.
And a lot of them will just smooth say, hey, it's a comfort thing.
That's right.
And, of course, naturally, we're going to say, well, how uncomfortable is it going to be when you take one to the bag? But they don't think about that. They're tough guys.
Yeah, right. Didn't we talk at one time about, and I want to say it's Adrian Beltre, but I don't know if it was him or not.
I think you're right.
Didn't we talk about a third baseman one time that just got absolutely annihilated?
That was Beltre.
Was it Beltre?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the ball just eliminated one of his testicles before it even reached left field.
Yeah.
It just burned it right off of his body. It was going so fast. Here's a listener. One of his friends lost a testicle bull riding.
Oh,
God!
Man, he's lucky he only lost a testicle.
I think that's actually a choice, though, right?
What do you mean? What?
I mean, I have a choice of getting on the bull or not.
Yeah, you know what you're getting yourself into. There's a chance you're going to lose a ball.
That's a choice.
Well, what do you mean?
When you play in baseball, baseball's a chance. Riding a bull is a choice.
The horn hit him. The horn pulled the sack off of the guy.
Oh, God, no.
Here's a
you
guy.
You made that up.
No,
you made that up.
The horn caught the guy.
And then the bull stood over him and taunted him. No.
Showed him his balls.
There was a kickboxing injury here where an individual lost a testicle. Lacrosse injury.
Oh, my God.
Bicycle riding.
Yep.
Again, I asked our listeners, text in if you or someone you know has lost a testicle from an impact injury. Baseball, okay, sure. Makes sense. All makes sense. Oh, wow. Well, God bless you, Matt Zuccarello, and all that you're about to endure.
Right.
As they said, he's going to have surgery. At least the rumor is.
Well, maybe Marcus can clear up the rumor for us.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk to Marcus tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Maybe he'll probably just say it's a lower body injury.
I think Marcus will tell us what it is.
Anyone else catch that? Randy Shaver says, he'll probably just say it's a lower body injury. I don't know. This has been a big thing lately. You guys have seen this, I'm sure. Websites love to do the Mount Rushmore bit. Mm-hmm. They love the Mount. So what they put together here, Bleacher Report put together every NHL franchise's Mount Rushmore of forwards since 1990. Every NHL franchise's Mount Rushmore of forwards since 1990. And I didn't pay attention to the rest of the league. But one benefit we have around here is that we do get to talk about two separate hockey clubs. The North Stars, especially if you're going back to 1990, and
did they combine the two, or did they pick one for the Wild and one for the North Stars?
They didn't combine the two.
Oh, they did not.
No, because they're two separate franchises.
Okay.
By the way, did you guys see the documentary yet? Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, did you see the...
I have not yet. No.
I was gone over the weekend, so I didn't see it.
Check it out. Now, I didn't realize this until I read the fine print of the contract I signed with that producer, Sean Skinner. Josh, I didn't realize this. But now that I was in the same documentary as Mike Modano, now we have to be best friends.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's a fun surprise.
I'm really excited about it. He hasn't gotten back to me about it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't know about it
He's
yet.
nervous, I'm sure. That's awesome.
Mike, if you're listening, we're expecting to see you again at Broasted Chicken one of these days. Once in a while, Mike comes into the YZ American Legion Broasted Chicken Friday night specials. We haven't seen him in a while, but all right. The Mount Rushmore of forwards since the year 1990. We'll start with the Dallas Stars, formerly the Minnesota North Stars, and of course Mike Modano makes that Mount Rushmore, along with Jamie Benn, Yuri Lettinen, and Tyler. I've always struggled with this guy. Seguin. Mike Modano could certainly tell you. He played many years with that Lettinen character, and that dude could play. Mike Modano, 20 years with the Stars franchise, and he's still their franchise leader in games played, goals, assists, and points. Man, what a pimp. For the Pigs, I don't think anybody could argue with this. The Mount Rushmore for the Pigs. Koivu.
Yep.
As Josh's uncle would say, Gorbiak.
Sure, Marion Gorbiak.
The Russian Kid.
Yep.
And Zachy.
And
Imagination.
Koivu, 16 years here.
Wow. Yeah.
Franchise leader in games, assists, points. Gorbiak. First ever star player.
Yeah.
For the Pigs franchise.
For the Wild, yeah.
He was, or is the... He is... He's still the all-time goal scorer, right? Yeah.
I think
that's what it says here.
I think he is, yes. Deborah, you bet.
Second in assists. Kaprizov, of course, doing wonderful things so far, and Zachy, who, if there is a Mount Rushmore for the Pigs, I hope they can make him just as good looking on that mountain as he is in person, because he's cute. You know what I loved about Koivu? Koivu had a nasty side to him that he showed once in a while. Oh, every once in a while he would deliver a friggin' cheap slash to somebody, and that's always pleased me. I like a star player who can also be dirty as balls. Koivu's favorite trick, if you guys remember, he would kind of lax it. If he had a player pursuing him into the corner, he would sucker that guy in and kind of, so the puck's in the corner, Koivu's going to be the first guy there. He sees a defender on his ass. He would kind of make as if he was very relaxed, like, well, I'll go get this puck, I guess, if I have to, right? And then he would explode his shoulder in the opposite direction and land it right in that defender's chin. I loved it. He was so good at that. Yeah, I'll get the puck, I suppose. They're paying me to do it. Ah! Guy would end up spitting chiclets. So there you go. Oh, and one more note. This has been a big effing thing lately. I haven't followed it at all, but hopefully this eases the stress for some of you who are interested. It says here, Inside the NBA will appear on ESPN and ABC beginning next season.
That's great.
That's great. It's awesome.
Go away.
So you're telling me that there actually was some worry that the show would go away?
There was.
Well,
yeah.
Because of TNT.
There was serious discussion that, like Barkley was talking about even retiring, but not even working.
Oh,
Why would they ever be worried? Why wouldn't another network want to pick that show?
Well, because there was...
Because the players like Barkley said he was going to be done, and there were some legal things with TNT too, with the trademarks of the show too.
Okay.
The other part of this is that Ernie Johnson was not going to leave TNT.
Okay.
Yep.
Ernie Johnson had said he wasn't going to leave TNT, but I believe they worked out a deal where he still works for TNT, but also does the show for ESPN ABC.
Okay. So there was loyalty to the network and also some confusing contractual businessy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other guy said the show doesn't work without Ernie.
Right.
And so they were like, it's not going to work if Ernie's not a part of it.
Well, you'll get to see it next year. I never had a thought in the world that it would go away forever. It's just too good.
I think it's great. It's awesome. It's great.
It's too good of a show to just go away forever. That'd be ridiculous.
And you can't tell me it's not a big moneymaker. It's just everybody watches it. It's just such a it's the best pregame, postgame show on TV.
I'll have to say ESPN also has to allow these guys to be themselves. I mean, TNT did that, and sometimes I will say ESPN doesn't allow people to be themselves. So they're going to have to let those four guys do what they did on TNT for it to be successful.
Well, I'm happy. And, I know that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but it is kind of annoying now. Every friggin' game, everybody is trying to mimic what they're doing, and it's gotten tired at this point. It really has.
It's true.
When you turn on a college football game, a pro football, baseball, basketball, hockey, it's all, here's the straight-laced guy, and here's the old pro who's, fairly gentlemanly, and here's the doofus, and here's the fat guy. It's just, it's so dumb now. Just stop trying to mimic this friggin' program, because it's never going to match up. So I'm happy that the show's going to be on next year. Back to impact testicular injuries.
No.
I had one more for you. I think you'll like this one. A guy says that his dad lost one of his testicles from falling off of a refrigerator.
Oh, my God. What's the backstory on that one?
Doing on the refrigerator?
Don't you worry about that, Brad.
Hey, people like to have fun.
Somebody else said they know someone who lost it in a recliner.
Oh, no.
How do you do that?
Good. That cannot be good.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to picture that as well.
Well, I have more specifics on the refrigerator.
Oh, nice.
I do. As Dad is falling off the refrigerator, one of the old handles snagged his sack.
Oh, God.
And opened it up for him.
Oh, that's something you want to keep closed.
And they couldn't find one of them.
Oh.
No.
Come on.
It was in the freezer.
The vegetable here. You know how you guys are. You're always finding things under your refrigerator.
It was in the ice chest.
It fell under
in the ice cube tray.
You guys are a great crowd. Brad and Randy, we'll talk to you again. By damn, we will.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show. Terrell Davis, former NFL player for the Denver Broncos.
When I played, if I had to get a message out, it was probably through my agent, or I had to tell somebody in the media. Now, I can just tweet it. I can just put it on social media. You hear a lot of things that you don't want to hear, and then your family hears it, they tell you about it. So it's definitely a different environment.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Let me tell you something. You're an incredible crowd. Really, especially for a Monday morning. You far surpassed Josh's expectations.
Did I have low expectations?
Welcome back to the Half-Assed Morning Show here. It's 8:32 on a Monday morning. Yeah, the first thing Josh said to me was, he said, hey, I'm ready for a broadcast, but he said, I bet our crowd's going to suck.
I heard it.
But they far surpassed those expectations.
You guys you're gaslighting the listeners and me. I will not be gaslighted.
I've been told I'm pretty good at it.
Gaslighting?
Yeah.
No, you're not very good at it. You've never been told that.
What?
Josh said, I'm ready. I just don't know if our crowd is. But you far surpassed his expectations. Thank you so much for listening to our program. No, I don't know about you, Cubby. I can't just walk away from all these great stories about testicular impact injuries. I was raised better than that.
I had no idea it was this common in the listening audience. There's a lot of people who have had some terrible things happen to their testicles. I've been very lucky.
We had a conversation earlier about testicular amputation. And personally, I've known a few guys over the years who unfortunately lost one of their gears due to cancer. But I couldn't think of it. I still don't think I've ever known anyone personally who lost a pill from, say, a terrible impact, collision, violent type of an injury. But our text machine went out of control. And like I said, I was raised better. I can't just walk away from these stories. What are some that you were told over there, Josh?
As far as techs go, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was having some tech issues. I figured you'd take care of that.
I do have some in front of me. I know they'll come your way as well.
By the way, Crazy Fish Guy Jesus said gaslighting is not real.
Shut up.
I thought it was. I'm sorry. Thanks for clearing that up. I've had a couple close calls.
You have?
Where I took a hit so hard I thought, oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of, grooming incidents where I thought this could be some serious trouble.
That's scary.
You got to be on balance. You have to be properly centered if you're going to groom yourself down there because, sure, slips and accidents can happen. So
a lot of people texting in their wedding date, right, saying that's when they lost their nuts.
Oh, yeah, that good joke.
I did have one of those. Here's a medical chicken lady, Jesus, who said her husband lost a testicle. It wasn't his fault. She cleaned out her purse. So 651-989-9393 is our text number. We were asking, have you or someone you know lost a pill due to some kind of impact injury? Really interesting story here from OG cabinet finisher Jesus. And I remember this feeling. Oh, I do, from back in the day. One time, when I was a kid, he says, I was exploring the woods. We had a set of woods in our neighborhood, and we would love to ride our bicycles back there. Now it's an apartment complex, but we would love to ride our bicycles back there. We had our own fort, and there were other kids, older kids, who also had a fort, and we always treaded very lightly around the older kids' fort because they were in there doing older kids stuff. They had hardcore porno and beer and cigarettes. So I remember that fort scene out in the woods in your neighborhood. So he says, when I was a kid, I was exploring the woods. I came upon the town bully's fort. And I bet he thought, oh, Jesus. The town bully pulled a knife on him.
Oh.
Threatened to stab him. So I kicked him in the nuts and ran like hell. Fast forward a few years, that town bully and I crossed paths at the skate park, and the town bully pulled out his one nut and said, look what you did to me.
Wow.
It's your fault.
So he kicked the guy in the pills. The guy had to have one of them cut loose. God, I remember those days. We had some pretty cool stuff in our fort. Anyway, we don't need to talk about it. Lacrosse. Okay, so what are the different ways you or someone has lost a pill? Lacrosse. 107 mile per hour shot. Hit a guy in the bag.
Oof.
I threw up, says the victim. I threw up, passed out. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a happy ending. He did not lose his ball. Okay. Did not. But he thought maybe that was going to be the end of it. Skateboarding.
Oh, yeah, a couple of skateboarders.
Oh. Yeah, I've seen some bad things happen. When I used to hang out with, in middle school, like a group of boys, and they were skaters. And they took some diggers.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd get up a couple times.
Oh, remember that show Scarred?
Oh, yeah, I did see that a couple times.
Never saw it.
I could not watch that show. That was brutal.
I ollied my board right into my testicles. Trying to practice that.
Please tell me there's some girls watching.
No. Girls weren't interested in watching what we were up to, unfortunately.
So skateboarding has claimed a NAD or two.
Here's a barbed wire fence that took a NAD.
Oh.
Those are dangerous.
This person said they went to school with someone who lost one while jumping over that.
Now, some of these text messages don't have any details, and that's okay. We can use our imagination. A testicle was lost in a tubing accident.
Oh, no. Yeah, I wonder how that happened.
You know, I'm going to take a guess here, Josh. I'm going to take a guess they were on the Apple River. And by the way, when you have a testicle amputated, where does it go? Can anyone answer that question?
Testicle heaven.
They give it to you in like a little jar.
I'm sure just where anything else they chuck out of you, right?
Just medical waste bin? Can you ask for it?
A bonfire pit.
I've always like thought of that and thought about that being like kind of silly. How there has to be like a bin in hospitals just like with body parts,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Maybe-
that's crazy.
But I wonder if
Maybe
you
it's
can
like
ask for it.
When you go to a restaurant and there's like a garbage that's split, so maybe it's like there's hilarious body injuries on one side and the real gross ones on the other.
All right, tubing accident. I'm going to guess again. It was the Apple River, and if you remember that, tubing up and down the Apple River when you were young, Josh, you could really get cooking, and then you'd hit a really shallow spot.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe a dude had his ass and nuts hanging down low. They're really cooking down the river, and then they hit that gravelly, shallow spot.
I was picturing like a branch.
Oh, very well could be.
This 29 Model 8 Jesus knows a guy who lost a nut from getting hit during paintball. I'll bet that's taken quite a few nuts.
That had it hit perfectly too.
Because you wouldn't think to wear a cup during paintball, would you?
No.
I wouldn't.
never did.
Hell no.
What about getting whipped with a wet towel in the shower, this person said?
That is not cool.
Yeah, I could do some.
I never liked those towel snapping sumbitches back in the day.
I hate when people do that. It's not funny. It just gives me straight panic and fear.
And that.
Oh, it happens to girls
Yeah,
too.
I didn't know women did it
Yeah,
too.
I didn't either.
No, this is me just like walking around my house trying to live my life, and my boyfriend will come out of nowhere trying to
kinda
towel
funny
whip
then.
me.
He's a towel snapper?
Yeah, just out of nowhere too. He likes to bully me.
Grow up, you bastard. How about taking a charge in high school basketball? Got kneed right in the
That's why you cover.
right in the rosin bag. Took a
bet the other
charge.
person feels terrible too. I would feel so awful.
Grapefruit sized. It swelled up to a grapefruit size.
Wow.
They were able to save the nut. That's Rice County Bush Light Jesus.
DODQA Jesus said his uncle lost both his nuts when he got caught in a paper making machine and it crushed him up to his waistline.
Hell no.
That is terrible.
Hell no. Bicycles, of course.
Oh, yeah, the middle bar.
Yep.
What does this say? I cased a massive jump on my dirt bike. Is that a misspelling? or
No,
a
that's
cased?
like when you go up a jump, like you go off a jump and there's like a tabletop and you hit the top of that, so you don't go down the landing.
Is it good or bad?
It's bad.
Oh, I cased a massive jump on my dirt bike, smoked my nuts, exploded one of them.
Oh.
15 years later, I fired a micro pin. Okay, so the nut stayed after that dirt bike crash. It stayed, but it was in trouble. 15 years later, I fired a micro pin into the same nut. Doctor pulled the pin, and the nut survived that as well.
Your poor nut.
This is 9 minus 10-inch Wiener Jesus, who says his nuts have had a rough life, but they survived both of those terrible impact injuries, which is what we're discussing here, testicular impact injuries.
A couple related ones. Somebody said they had a friend who slid down a ladder and another person down a roof, and it's nails got him on the way down. Awful.
Our God and baby Jesus help us all. Slingshots. Wow, that's an old school way to lose a testicle.
I haven't thought about slingshots in a long time.
With a slingshot, were you any good at when?
No, not really.
Never got any good at it.
Need vitamin V, Jesus said. Medical waste body parts, as far as where they go, it's equal parts hot dogs and bologna.
No.
He claims that's where you'll find those.
Testicular torsion. Sure, I had that once, and it was terrible. Absolutely, one of the more painful experiences of my life was testicular torsion. Now, this sumbitch in our listening audience, FBO Holland Jesus, almost lost his left seed. He says he got the torsion by picking up a dead calf. It's almost like a hernia type.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
We don't encounter a lot of that here in radio.
Oh, you got to pick up a dead calf.
Having to pick up dead livestock.
Heart failure Jesus said his dad was on the fire department and got called to an accident with a three-wheeler. A kid went over the handlebars and tore it open going over the handlebars.
Playing basketball, and they also had a pencil in their back pocket.
How do you guys just like go about your day? I would be constantly so concerned about the safety of my balls.
I'm guessing the dude forgot that he had a pencil in his
No,
back.
I mean like men in general. Like, how do you? I would always be on edge. It seems like they're so sensitive, and you have to like protect them.
It doesn't just seem like it. They are sensitive, and we do have to protect them. There are some days, Ashley, where that's on our mind.
Okay.
Got to keep your head on a swivel, Ashley.
So when you're going all over town with them day after day, you do let that idea slip now and again. But yeah, there are times, right, Josh, where you go, okay, this is not a nut-friendly environment.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be careful.
Really?
I mean, I've mentioned before, I have video getting hit in the nuts with a wiffle ball playing with my kid. I'm certainly sitting down. Sometimes you do it wrong. That just happened to me the other day. I forgot the pencil thing. There was a kid in 7th grade that happened. He sat down with a pencil in his pocket and impaled it. Now, he didn't lose one, but it was pretty bad, as you can imagine.
Ooh.
This kid lost a testicle because he impaled it with a pencil in his back pocket while playing basketball. Now, Ashley, what you're saying makes perfect sense. You would think that we would constantly be on guard, but after a while, you get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of forget.
I just, especially with the sitting, that just seems so inconvenient. Like if I want to sit, I can just sit. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about like the quality of the seat, where things are moving. Just sit.
I think that might be an older man thing, because I never had that happen outside of like a toilet seat that might slip. But I never sat on them before I got a little older.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is an older guy thing. Every once in a while, you sit on your own nuts. What are you going to do?
This person says, I'm on the fire department. I've been to too many accidents where pressures of the seatbelt explodes a nutsack. Oh.
Whoa.
I don't want to hear that.
I've never heard that before.
I don't want to hear that because I like to wear my seatbelt. And one final thought, I guess, on this subject, wonderful subject of testicular amputation, testicular impact. Great question. When you get one pulled off of you, cut out of you, however you want to say it, when you lose one, does that remaining nad, Josh, does it stay on its intended side, or does it then hang in the middle?
I have a friend who lost one to cancer. I'll have to ask him.
That's a brilliant thought.
Yeah. And he's the first person I ever heard talk about prosthetics, where that was something the doctor asked. They said, hey, we got to take this. Are you interested in us putting a fake nut in there? And so, he turned it down, but I didn't know that was really a thing or a guy would really care.
If you guys lost one, would you get a backup?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's silly. I personally, I think that's silly. I think I would get used to going on one gear. But that's a really interesting question. Does the remaining nut, can it spread its wings a little bit? Kind of like when, how when your wife or your boyfriend, girlfriend gets out of bed and you got the whole damn bed to yourself and you just go, yeah, that's what I've been waiting on. Is that what that one remaining nut does?
See, I still stick to my side. That's what I was thinking. Because it's not too often where one of us is out of town or anything. But like when you and I shared a room in Turtle Lake, unfortunately we had different beds, but I stayed like what would be considered my size.
That's so
even
adorable.
though I had that huge bed.
Oh, no, I sprawl out.
You're an institutionalized man.
Yeah, I don't like change too much.
Oh, when partners have left my bed, I do the full-on starfish.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It feels so much better.
It does. It's a wonderful feeling.
All right, we have people who have texted in that have lost testicle to cancer. The other one just stays.
Oh.
It stays where it was when you first got it.
It doesn't take advantage of all the extra room in that sack.
That's kind of lame.
Well, you can't teach an old nut new tricks.
That's the same.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
All right, we're circling the drain here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. We're almost done, but we got to lay this out for you first. Toys for Tatas update. Woo. Change of plans. It's being held at your house. Here's the deal. It's coming up Friday. You know the bit. Rick's Cabaret, Toys for Tatas, it's back for the 23rd, 4th, 5th year, something like that. By damn, we're excited to go back to Rick's for our topless toy drive. Always a fun day and a rewarding day. Over the years, so many have been so helpful. Donating toys for some kids who could use a friggin' break. Don't be a heartless bastard. We'll see you on Friday. So, 6 a.m., they crack the doors open at Rick's Cabaret for Toys for Tatas this Friday morning. Oh, you got your free admission and your free buffet if you bring a new unwrapped toy for a kid. Keep in mind all ages. And then we'll hang out and have a hell of a time with 23-year-old girls running around in their underwear. But the added bonus here, and I'm really excited to be able to talk about something like this, into addition isn't how you say it, new edition with Bobby Brown. No, in addition to all of that fun, you can stop by. When you stop by, you'll have your chance to win concert tickets for a year.
That's pretty awesome.
That is really cool.
I'm guessing we're going to have a little sign-up box. You throw your funny little name in there, and we'll draw a winner. Your chance to win concert tickets for a year from 93X. And, I mean, there's some pretty cool shows coming to town already on the schedule for the year 20 plus 25. Isn't there a Ghost show in there somewhere?
There is.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Everybody likes Ghost. People go crazy for that friggin' band.
It's a big, expensive prize, they were telling me.
Oh, my damn. It is a big, expensive prize.
Especially we talk about how much concert tickets cost these days.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's not like the old days where you get in for $19.99.
So here's your chance to show what a good person you are by donating an unwrapped toy and helping a kid out, hanging around, having a couple of beers. Also, your chance to win concert tickets for a damn year. Just stop by Toys for Tatas for your shot to win. It's already this friggin' Friday morning. It starts at 6 a.m. It's at Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's By Damn Woo Club. And before we go, I took notice of something Ashley brought into the mix this morning, although I think it's a pretty easy question to answer. This was a tweet going around town. You know, we had the dance-off Friday night between a near 60-year-old man and a 27-year-old YouTube kid, right? That was the big story over the weekend.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Here's this tweet. Here's the question. Would you have a better chance of lasting 5 minutes with Mike Tyson in his prime or to last 5 minutes with a porn star? See, that's real easy. That's real easy. It's porn star.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I'd orgasm.
Yeah.
But with a porn star, I'd be so nervous that I could probably last. It'd be impressive, but it would certainly only because of fear, not for any studliness.
Remember, Mike Tyson in his prime. Would you last longer with him or with a porn star? Again,
if he landed one punch, I'd be dead. Mm-hmm. Or most people would be.
When he was young, yeah, your head might just come smooth off the rest of your body. But again, it's easy because if I end up wrestling with a porn star, I'm going to get rid of the easy one.
Oh, you're going to be prepared for it to last a while. Okay.
You got to clear the cannon. That's just good advice.
I get it.
I'm going to get rid of the easy one before they say action.
Yeah. You want to hang out with her for a while.
Yeah, I want to make it last.
Yeah. Make it worth your while.
Make it last. Maybe the two of us end up, we go out to dinner later that night. Yeah, that's funny, though, that people would even bring something like that up.
Yeah, who's going to say Tyson?
Nobody.
Probably men that are too full of themselves.
I mean, outside of like a professional boxer. I mean, I'm trying to think if I could run for 5 minutes around the ring. I don't think I could even do that.
No,
just play dead.
Oh, man, what does that remind me of? God, there was some movie where There were two little kids squaring off for a fight, but one of them just kept running in a circle, and the other one couldn't even get close to the other one because just anyway, I can't think of it. Yeah, I wonder if I even had the cardio to run around in a circle while the man is, preying upon me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Josh, I could picture you picking Homer Simpson's entrance music to when he had his one boxing match. He came out to, "Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?"
That's hilarious.
Perfect for Josh.
Oh, man. All right, what a wonderful Monday. We got to get going.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.